What's good, Relocation Football League fan? It's your boy Smitty here with the RFL weekly podcast. Still here in this college season, man. We are 2/3 of the way through. I got my man Bill and Rob on the podcast as always with me. Man, a lot to discuss this week, but how you guys feeling?
I'm feeling good, man.
Yeah, same here, man. Feeling very, very good.
There's going to be some bells, I think, that's going to be dropped here quite a bit. But it was an interesting season. Finally got the playbook thing situated, and then towards the end of the week, we were able to get some really good games. Still had some great games, too. A lot of surprises. And so with that being said, not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right into the recaps. So let's go ahead and start with that. First, go ahead and shout out to Darius Hodge there for the $20 donation. My guy, always coming through.
Salute.
With the bag, man.
Man,
Darius
that means
Dollars.
Yeah.
He's a touchdown, man.
Probably get you a touchdown for all this money.
I know it, man. Gotta raise him a touchdown.
All right, so let's go ahead and get a look at the first game of play that we had. LSU taking on UCLA. This was a very defensive game. Wasn't a lot going. Only 2 total touchdowns, one from each side, but UCLA able to pull it off with an overtime win on a field goal. Final score was 13-10.
Yeah, this one I thought, both teams, in my opinion, sort of underperformed. I thought both of them could have done a little bit better on offense as they just couldn't really find any consistent rhythm. But I guess you can credit the defenses because both teams have a pretty decent defensive unit. But for the UCLA, though, I thought they played well. I sort of expected a close game, but I did think LSU was going to win it. But Matthew Holman, man, I think he was the driving force behind UCLA this game because every time they were in a tough spot and they needed some yards, especially in the fourth quarter there, he delivered. So hats off to Holman for that, and good win for UCLA.
Shout out to Trojan Boy for the $20 donation when to get that in. But go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, you gotta have to go ahead and rest in peace, Mix, man. Man, I was wondering why my notes were so light, man. I missed the Thursday and Friday breakdowns of those games, man. I was sitting here. I started with the Premier games.
Oh,
I said, I only got 4 sheets of paper here, man. So I wasn't able to go in there, man, and get that right there. So I apologize, guys, man. Great game is all I can say there.
Well, what I'll say here, I got some questions also mixed in on the, as you see the overlay, it says, is LSU just a bowl-eligible team this year, or could they possibly still find a way to make it into the playoffs? Last year, they finished the year with a 8-4 record, was just barely able to make it in as the 4th-ranked team, but right now, 4-3 at this point in the season. Do you think that playoffs is out of the question for them after taking a loss like that?
I don't think so, man. I feel like there's a lot of teams in like the same position as they are. So at least they have 5 weeks yet, I think, 4 weeks to separate themselves. But if they want to get to the playoffs, they're gonna have to do better than this. UCLA is a great team, but 13-10 ball games when there's teams out here that are playing much better, and you're trying to get one of 4 spots, I think that it's a possibility for them, but they just got to have a little bit more consistency if they want to get it done.
Yeah, and I would just say that the road is somewhat getting a little bit tougher for LSU. They got to play Mississippi State next week, and then they got to go and play Clemson. And Clemson's going to be at home in that ball game there. Then they turn around, they got to play Bama in week 10, man. And so that's just a few right there. So I'm not going to say that it's out of the question here, but they got to beat some teams. They got to go and play Auburn week 11. And then let's see, they got coming up here. Looks like they do have a bye week, week 12, but then they jump in week 13, and they have to play, let's see, drum roll. They got to play Texas A&M. So I don't know, kind of, maybe it looks like a couple of wins there, easy wins, but I think that they got three games against Auburn, Clemson, and I can't remember the last one, Bama, which are going to be very, very tough games for them going forward.
Yeah, and like I said, only 1 game off of the amount of losses they took from last year. And so, those are some tough opponents. You lose, I'd say they still got a little bit of a chance. They lose 2. So, I do agree with you guys. It's not completely out of the realm. I think LSU's still sticking around a little bit in that conversation, but that was a tough loss right there to take from UCLA for sure.
Yeah, I think it's more of a statistical possibility more so than like a what you're
Right.
expecting possibility. I mean, I'm not trying to diss anybody because I know LSU's been watching what I say about them, but it's just being honest. Like right now, technically they still have a shot at it, but this kind of play is definitely not going to get them over the top.
Yeah, and so tough one right there for LSU. You see both teams from that game 4-3 on the season. Moving on to the next game called by Rob Roby. We had Notre Dame, who's been in a slump, taking on Miami. In Miami, they were able to show out and get the dub. Notre Dame came out kind of hot, and then it just died off. But it was the Amir Williams show. He went off, as you can see here, 274 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. We got more to talk about Amir Williams in this, but what's you guys' thoughts?
Oh man, yeah. Amir alone made sure that Notre Dame stayed in that little snag of down on their luck that they've been in, because man, that guy was just unstoppable. I mean, 2 80-yarders, and then I think the third touchdown to me was almost even more impressive. He just bulldozed his way through those couple of defenders, and that's the kind of offense that I want to see Miami be able to put forth every week, because I feel like they'd be in a much better position if they were able to establish Amir Williams like that a lot more consistently. DJ White, he had a slow night, but it wasn't a bad night. It wasn't one that cost them anything, and he did have that amazing touchdown run when he broke away from that sack, which I thought was awesome. So overall, it was a fun game to watch, but hats off to Amir. I'm sure he's in the chat because he had a heck of a game.
Yeah, and just as long as Bill's been talking, I just kind of freestyled this bell I'm about to hand out. I was going to come in here and say 274 bells should be ring right now by Smitty, but I said that's probably a little bit too OP. Then I was thinking, hey man, maybe we should do 160 bells after that the two 80-yard rushes that he had on those boys, man. I remember that when I said, nah, that's probably OP. But I am going to ask Smitty to go ahead and put up 3 bells for the 3 touchdowns he had on these boys right here, man. 32 attempts, 274 rushing yards, and 3 touchdowns. Man, he was all the way getting it done. I also got to rest in peace Alex Jackson, man. 3 interceptions on the day. Man, 65.9 rating right there. Just doesn't get it done. He did have the 2 touchdown passes early. We thought it was going to be, a good game. But, man, Miami just doing what they do best, man. Showboating, getting it done. We'll go ahead and give a honorable mention to Marquise Levy. He had the 7 receptions, 109 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown. But other than that, man, that was just all day the defense of Miami and the running game of Amir Williams, man. Boy, those guys really, really look scary sometimes.
And Miami getting the win there. I didn't reiterate the score, but the final score was 33-15. But now brings up the question here, what I was talking about. We're going to be talking a little bit more about Amir Williams as you see him burrowing through in that tough run that Bill talked about for that 3rd touchdown of the game. Is Amir Williams the best running back currently in the college series? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think so. I mean, I think that he's the most, like right now, the most electrifying one. There's plenty of really good running backs in the series, but game-breaking plays like that, if those 80-yarders don't happen early on in the game, what's to say that Miami doesn't start rattling off points like they did? That energizes the team. So when you have a guy that can, change the way the game is going based off of one play because of his playmaking ability, it adds more than just what he does on every down. And I think that for that, I would say as of right now, yes.
Yeah, I got to go ahead and turn up the chat, man. I'm going to pull out some keyword indicators that my boy Bill just threw out there for y'all, man. Game changer, man. Play maker, man. He has a storyline that is just ridiculous. He has content out in the RFL community right now. The whole coming from behind, staying on the team, which he wasn't going to start on, battling back, coming through, putting it all on his feet. 480-plus yarders on the season here. Look at the stat line. This guy is the impact back that I think that every team in the RFL should be looking for. This guy right here. He is clearly by landslide the best halfback in the series.
Man, as a commissioner, I don't want to speak too much on it and give away anything, but he's definitely up there.
On it.
Yeah, he's a beast. Moving on to the next game, West Virginia took on Texas. West Virginia was in a slump coming in this one. Leo Moon was playing terrible, came out with this touchdown pass here, but he ended up handling business, throwing for 3 touchdowns. Did throw for under 200 yards, so it wasn't an all-around impressive day, but they do end up getting the win with a huge upset, I'd have to say, over Texas with a final score of 36-7.
Oh, finally, man! Finally, I've been feeling so bad for the guys at West Virginia, Leo, and it's just they've been trying so hard, and they're so great. They're such great community members, but like they just have not had luck on their side. And like you said, he didn't throw for 200 yards, but he threw for 3 touchdowns, and the team flourished on offense and defense. And sometimes you just got to take advantage of mismatches, and he took advantage. Texas is not exactly the greatest pass defense team in the college series, and he exploited it. So I thought it was a great way for West Virginia to get back on track. Hopefully they can take this into the next game, the next couple of games, and get their mojo back a little bit. But yeah, I thought it was a great game for West Virginia.
Yeah, the same here, man. I remember, seeing this game, calling this game, and I really thought that Casares would do a lot more. I was actually just shocked. Although both quarterbacks didn't really have a great stat line here, but I do remember, saying to myself that, man, Casares has a chance really to extend the ball to those wide receivers, and it was just kind of like I was shocked just to see, West Virginia just clamp down on that. Obviously, Leo Moon didn't have to be, the big aggressive wide receiver that we know he can be this day. That is going to go to Kennedy McCoy with 170 yards on the ground. Rest in peace, that right there. I mean, it was really shocking, man. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, Gossett, Ferguson, they're going to get in here. Baker's going to come in here. These guys are going to extend the field. And that's just not what we saw, man. We didn't really see that much out of any of the receivers here. We just saw West Virginia making plays when they had to make plays, and we saw, the defense, just pretty much just stepping up, man. Another just great performance by Jedediah Richardson. I know Kenny Forrester wants a little bit of that too. He had one more tackle than him, but it's just that, what I saw, man, was just pure Clamp City for West Virginia, man. And that's the West Virginia that I talked about a few weeks ago when I said that I thought this team, was great. I thought this team, I think I might have overspoken, said this team is as good as Georgia, right? But I thought that this team, I definitely do believe that this team is a top 10 team, and I think they really showed in that performance right there, man, what they did to Texas.
Yeah, impressive blowout victory. I was expecting Texas to be more, competitive than they were. Like you said, Casares had a lot of trouble throwing on that defense. And the receivers, like exactly like you said, Ken Gossett, he may have led the receivers. I think he led all receivers in receiving yards in that game with 75, but he only had 2 catches.
Catch too.
Yeah, he had a crazy catch. It was 4 touchdown, but I mean, he literally only had 2 catches in that game, and that's saying a lot that West Virginia was able to shut him down. Either that was the problem on him not just being able to get open and make more plays, or either Casares just was not giving them enough targets. We saw Brandon Baker make a couple of catches, but there was no big plays like we were accustomed to seeing from Texas. And I guess the last little takeaway and question I have for this game is your thoughts on Leo Moon. The 3 touchdown passes. He had the 1 interception still in the game, but do you think Leo Moon is going to be back into his form of what we saw at the beginning of the season, or does he still really have a lot to prove here?
I think it was a good stepping stone and a good starting point to get back to form, but like I said, we know that Texas defense is not the best when it comes to defending the pass. So he took advantage of it, which is, exactly what a quarterback should do. But I think I need to see that, a week, 2 weeks now from here put together with this game before you can officially say that he's back to form. He had a good game, but I just want to see some consistency before I say, hey, he's back, he's ready to roll. But it's a good starting point for him.
Yeah, the issue that I have with Leo Moon right now is he's a decent quarterback. I'll give him that. But he's got a tough road ahead, man. He's got Utah coming up here in week 8, and those boys are looking pretty good. He's got Oklahoma State, and they don't die easily right there, right? Especially with that running game. You got to go see the Rock week 10, Oklahoma, right? So that's gonna be kind of crazy right there. Then he got to go play Miami in week 11. So it's coming up, man. It's coming up. It's looking kind of crazy here. It looks like he is going to get a bit of a break in the week 12. I don't think they've had a bye yet, Smitty, correct? Yeah. So they haven't had the bye. And then let's see, who does he play week 13? Oh boy. Then week 13 he's got to play Baylor. Now the good thing is that 3 of those games he has at home, but he really is gonna have to really be good through the last quarter of this season right here, man. If we're gonna say that he's back to form, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be rough, man. That's gonna be a rough schedule for him right there.
And from, of course, Coach Baker, who was really into the, predictions on who he thought was going to be the best. This was a guy we thought, I agreed with him, with the way he started out with the 5 touchdowns to start the season. But, ever since then, kind of been downhill from there. So hopefully with this game, it'll help him find his mojo back a little bit. And let's see if he can continue it. But a tough schedule, like you said, ahead. So unfortunately, I don't have the highlights for the premier games. We were a little bit behind on that. Still, shout out to Marshall, man, for getting the highlights out to help edit so that I can make these presentations. So I just got this right here, the pictures that we used to use about 2 weeks ago. So let's start off with the first premier game that we had on the schedule. 3 games premiered at 1 o'clock, but it was Utah taking on Washington State, and Utah really came out, man. Joseph Fontanez leading the Utes to a 42-7 win over Jacoby Hartfield and the Cougars.
Oh man, what a game by Utah! I mean, at first, when I first was watching, it looked like Washington State was about to do some damage because they went right down the field, I think, and scored. And then I think they got the ball back and they were going to score again. I'm pretty sure it's the right game I'm thinking of. And then Utah gets a pick 6, and then they get another interception on the next drive, and they just kept answering back, and then it was just a snowball effect from there for Washington State. Obviously, the benefiter of is Utah. But I thought that pick 6 really changed the course of the game. Like I said, Washington State was making plays really early on. The pick 6 happened, and then next thing you know, they're just scoring at will. I think they had like 3 touchdowns on offense, maybe 4. They added 3 interceptions, 2 of them returned for touchdowns, and a blocked punt. And anytime you get that kind of production from not only your offense, but your defense, your special teams, you're going to be a hard team to stop. And Washington State was just on the wrong end of that one for them.
Yeah, Bill got my whole stat line there, guys, but I'm going to go ahead and give y'all the animated version of what he just said right there. Hey, this game had me highly entertained. So to start the first quarter, very, very lit. First and foremost, I got to ask Smitty to go ahead and hit that RIP bell to this jingle for Washington State. This is dedicated to my boy Q-Pac out there. Y'all ready? RFL all through your body. Draft rising from the lobby. Q-Pac, come with me. Hail Mary. I said one quick C. That's the worst impersonation of Hail Mary I've ever heard, man. But anyway, he hit a 75 yarder. That was just crazy, man. 2 receptions, 123 yards in the first quarter alone. That was just crazy. I really thought that, like Bill said, that they were going to be able to, take that, and really live off that for the rest of the game. But man, Utah, they just refuses to have that slow death right there. The defense was crazy. The 96-yarder, obviously, with the pick 6 there. Tariq Lewis and Nurse continue. Those 2 guys the last 2 weeks have been killing it late in the game and also early in the game this week here with the 2 interceptions, the block punt, as Bill pointed out, the 2 pick 6s there. And Fontanez, man, he got the honorable mention from me, 20 of 24, 263 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception there. And, man, just a huge day for Q-Pac. He had the 7 receptions, 176 yards, 1 touchdown, and it just wasn't enough, man, for Utah. And that's just crazy just seeing Utah just kind of like hatch a little bit here, man, and start to beat up on some teams, man. This is really looking really, really crazy, man.
Yeah, and for Utah, this was a team we had concerns about, first time being in the RFL College Series, one of the lower-rated teams before getting built over. And we've had concerns, didn't think that Utah was going to be that good, especially after the rough start that they had. But Joseph Fontanez, he's always stayed positive, always said he's going to work hard, trying to lead his team to victory, and he was able to help get it done here. He also got a lot of help from the rest of his team. As Bill pointed out, the defense, the special team, you get stats like that, you're pretty much guaranteed to win the game. I can see the momentum of Utah. Despite momentum not being factored into play now, it almost feels like it with the way they've been performing as of lately. And this was without the custom playbooks to adjust to their, their playing style. So this could be just the beginning of what's to come for the Utes. Very impressed with this victory over Washington State. Can't wait to see what they do next week.
Hey, Smitty, hold on, man. I got to redeem myself real quick, man. I said RFL all through your body. Draft stock rising from the lobby. Q-Pop, come with me. Hail Mary, one quick see. What do we have here now? Do you want to ride? La da 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 da. Yeah, I edited out the curse words, but you thought I was gonna drop that. No bell there, baby.
So the bell was saved, but good impersonation, my guy.
All right.
Let's go ahead to the next game. Oklahoma narrowly defeating Nebraska, but of course the Rock Johnson getting it done as DJ was able to lead them to a 28-20 victory over the Cornhuskers.
That first, I think it was the first drive that Oklahoma had. That what Daryl Johnson did was just not fair. Okay, he juked the dude out of his shoes, and then he just took off. He looked faster than any of the running backs that I've seen in the series so far, and it was like 70 yards he took off for it. That was just crazy, man. But I mean, Oklahoma, they had over 100 yards, I think, in the first quarter alone. And I mean, anytime, if you've played defense, you know the worst thing and the most draining thing to happen is to just get ran on like that. You want to pass, I mean, it sucks, but it's whatever. But when you get somebody just running it down your throat like that, man, it's the worst, and it's debilitating, and that's exactly what happened. Nebraska did some good things. They sort of came back and made a good effort, but they held off in the end, and just a great day for Daryl Johnson. And him and Blaze seem to be just playing catch out there. Some of those touchdowns they're throwing to each other, and when you have an offense that's humming like that, man, have fun trying to stop it.
Oh, yeah, man. I just had some quick notes on that when I said Nebraska did a good job of hanging around in this one, 14-10 at the half. But, man, OU and the Rock, man, they turned up the pressure in the third. They outscored the Cornhuskers 14-3 there. Despite Nebraska having the ball 3 more minutes, man, they just couldn't get it done. Jeremy Moore was 27-42, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. Daryl the Rock Johnson here, 18 for 24, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, 67-yard read option. Did y'all see that? The read option. Rest in peace to that. That's not meant to go for 67 yards. I don't care who you are. Not even Vic turning those into 67 yarders. Anyway, I'm reaching right there. Vic was pretty devastating. Anyway, 8 carries, 116 yards on the ground by him. Man, 4 total touchdowns on the day for the Rock. Getting it done, man. Honorable mention to wide receiver Blaze with 8 receptions, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. And that middle linebacker out there, is Caleb Kelly a user submitted, or is he a real person?
I don't think so. He might be a real person.
Okay. Well, he had 11 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and 1 interception there. OU owns it.
Just getting the win that they should have got, especially how rough of a season that it's been for the Cornhuskers. Nebraska, though, like you guys were saying, made it close. It's an 8-point game. For a second, looked like they were rallying in, but struggles continuing for them. Jerry Moore, in big games like that, he didn't look like his stats were too bad, but those 2 interceptions, they make the difference when you're the underdog without the talent, especially playing on the road. They come in the house at Oklahoma. That's not going to be easy, especially against the Rock. And like you said, 67-yard read option play to the house for a touchdown. I mean, that's just what the Rock does every week. The guy's just a monster, man. Over 300 total yards of offense for him. You can expect that week in and week out, looking like a top-tier prospect for the RFL draft. And let's see if he can continue to keep it up as he continues to even keep their possible playoff hopes alive with a big win over Nebraska. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game. We had this was a little bit defensive. It wasn't all too much going on, but OSU getting it done. Oklahoma State beating Tennessee, a team that still has yet to win a game this season. The only team that has not won a game. They are 0-6 on the year, and Oklahoma State gets it done by 8. Final score 20-12.
First off, before I start, I just realized we got like 40 people in here, and we got 20 likes. I don't know what you guys are doing tonight, but you ain't liking the video. Come on now.
Repeat to the community. Let's get about that coffin, man.
Yeah. Anyway.
Get about that Coven coffin.
But yeah, back to the game. So to me, the craziest part of this whole game came like within 3 minutes in the first quarter, and it was, I think, OSU had it, and then I think Tennessee picked it off. Yeah, and then Tennessee had it, and then OSU recovers a fumble for a touchdown. But after that, man, it was basically some Didymus sightings. Didymus? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Didymus sightings and a field goal battle, and that was pretty much it. But unlike Tennessee, OSU was able to at least score a touchdown on offense, and I think that was really the difference there. So good win for OSU.
Yeah, Smitty, go ahead and just rest in peace this game, man. 5 total interceptions in this game. Had to
Yeesh.
definitely rest in peace that one, man. Both QBs almost threw this game away. Got to go ahead and rest in peace that one as well. Subpar running days. I'm not going to rest in peace that one. Davis and Didymus, like Bill just said, 72 for Davis, 73 for Didymus. Didymus did had a touchdown, so he bopped all his way into the end zone for one. Average performance just all around. My only honorable mention went to Hunter Gregg. He had Hunter Gray. I'm sorry. He had 15 tackles, 1 TFL, 1 interception, and 3 deflections. And I didn't really have much to say about that, man. OSU gets it done.
Yeah, not really much to say about this. I'm just going to move on to the next. As the next game that we had was Ohio State finally coming back after being in a tough slump, man. They get it done against Michigan State. Final score was 27-17. Bill, you there?
Oh, sorry. I was muted.
I think you
He's
pressed
eating
the
a
wrong
sandwich.
button.
No, I was muted. My bad. I had somebody come in and I had to mute myself.
Okay,
But,
cool.
What was I going to say? Ohio State versus Michigan State. This one I really don't have a lot to say for this game. Ohio State got it done, which I feel like we haven't been able to say that much at all this year. But, I expected – I think I called Ohio State to win this one. I can't remember or not. But either way, they get it done. Gavin Folk had a great game, and I thought he was a difference maker for the Buckeyes. It helps when the defense steps up and, doesn't allow Michigan State to really get rolling. But they just haven't really had much success on offense consistently, so it was nice to see them be able to put up points and for Falk to be able to actually maintain drives and get in the end zone. And hopefully they can, patch this together with a few more wins before the end of the season and salvage this thing.
Yeah, this is just too weird game, man. Both of these QBs just played very, very well. They equaled in QBR at 117. And then they had Vaughn was 21 of 30, and Folk was 20 of 29 here. Folk had 160 yards. Vaughn had 249. Vaughn had 2 touchdowns, and Folk had 3 touchdowns. But he also had 14 carries, 138 yards, man. Big day for him. And he got some help from Feldman, 18 carries for 89 yards for him, man. And I just had to just give just another honorable mention, man. As this guy continues, man, to just do it. He's just kind of like Q-Pac, man. You know what I mean? Zoe the Chef, man. 8 receptions, 147 yards, and a touchdown. I'm seeing you, man. I'm seeing you, boy. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of some of these quieter wide receivers on teams that are just not performing as well.
Yeah, a good way to kind of bounce back. Michigan State, as we've seen so far this season, has been a really solid team. And for Ohio State, to get their first win back after being on a bit of a streak of losing, especially by a deficit of 10, that's very impressive. Great win right there for the Buckeyes. Let's see if they can continue to keep that trend going. Moving on to the next game, Clemson took on Wisconsin, and I'm a RIP Bill already before we get this one started.
You can't start that already.
And matter of fact, Smitty, I'm gonna jump ahead and just say I have no comment. Rest in peace. Too much press for Wisconsin. Go ahead, Bill. It's all yours.
Yeah, you guys see the final score. It kind of hung around a bit, but it's Wisconsin. They're not gonna win. Why did they have the W as a logo? I don't get it, man. The Badgers, this is just terrible. They just need to hang it up. I mean, what do they still got the same amount of wins they had last year, too? They might actually end up having the same record. This is terrible right now. Let's get another RIP to Bill. I don't have to calm down because, did you honestly think that they was going to beat Clemson in this game? Heck no. Another RIP to that. That's awful. Right, but go ahead, Bill.
You guys stop RIP me, all right? You did it like 4 times already. Anyway, you know what? I'm going to get on the dog and train, too. I'm about to dog these guys, all right? So... I don't know who we should blame. Do we blame Love? You blame the receivers? The pass blocking? I don't care. Blame whoever you want. But I don't know what we expect when you got Malcolm Love sitting back there throwing the ball almost 40 times when this offense is not built for that. Give the ball to Joe Duncan 30 times a game. Don't turn the ball over. Throw it when you need to. And we just don't do it. I don't know what it is. There's no consistency. That's what's going to happen. All right? Joe Duncan had 7 catches. That is not the type of player this guy is, okay? He is a big, bruising back. You give it to him until the wheels fall off. And for some reason, Wisconsin just doesn't do this. And if they do it for a week, and then they stop doing it. I don't know what's going on here. I mean, I love Malcolm Love. I love Joe Duncan. But this offense is not built to be a pass-first team. And I don't care if you're down by 20. You still run the ball because it's your best work. It's your best option. And they just don't do it. So there you go. 15 runs. 15 runs with Joe Duncan.
Well, right. The positive side for this, though, for you, Bill, with Wisconsin is at least we got the playbook thing situated. So we will try to definitely put them in a better system than what they've been working. And this has been pretty much a problem for a lot of teams in the RFL College Series. But, yeah, either way, I still wouldn't have seen Wisconsin winning this. But hopefully they turn things around with that playbook. Definitely should not be passing as much as they are. I mean, there was times where, you know, they look good throwing, but these last couple of weeks, maybe it was a little bit too hype off of those games that they were successful, and they definitely shouldn't be running this offense this type of way, just 15 times with their bell cow running back. I mean, that's just not going to get it done. Duncan just needs a lot more power runs, so hopefully he'll get right for next week.
15 runs. 40 passes.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
They're still going to win next week.
All right, so moving on to the final premier game. This was expected Georgia to win, but, you know, I kind of expect them to win by more points with the way they've been playing. But, of course, this is not the playbook. They didn't have the playbooks either. Final score was 16-0. Still impressive that they were able to shut down Ole Miss with 0 points. It's been a while since we saw a shutout, but a big win for the G-Men as they tie the record with the most wins so far to start off the RFL College Series with 7. Could break it next week.
Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength here. I thought that, and I'm sorry for the Ole Miss guys in the chat, but I fully expected Georgia to come in and just lay the smack down. You know, that's what I expected. Like, I'm sorry, but they're the number one team. They have great defense, great offense. They still win 16-0, so that's awesome. But I just expected more out of the game, I guess, from Georgia. But in that sense, hats off to Ole Miss defense because, man, they came to play, I thought. They might have gave up 16 points, but it's not their fault the offense couldn't produce a single field goal. I just thought the defense played really well in that anytime the offense sputters to the point where it's a blowout like this, there's a goose egg on the board at the end of the game. It's not good. And, you know, Georgia finds ways to keep pulling out wins no matter how, you know, ugly or how slow paced it is. And that's what you got to do. So hats off to Georgia for another big win.
Yeah, man. That's all I could do with that is just say hats off to Ole Miss for not getting blown out. I guess you know, they do leave the goose egg there, but the fewest points scored by Georgia, which was just kind of interesting there, man. But hey, I guess, you know, every dog has its day. Kai Cash, 24 of 31, 190 yards, 1 touchdown. That was pretty solid. Quijada, 24 of 36, 186 yards, but he did have 2 interceptions and had to rest in peace the QBR there, 56.1. Not a good look for him. Cam Perkins, 22 carries for 72 yards. He was below average this season. Sincere Brown was also below average with just 41 yards rushing. Solid passing attack, I thought, by both teams. Quijada, he was just kind of forced to be checked down shorty to Brown a lot in this game here. And, Georgia's defense, they're just stingy. They're going to feed right into that. One of the very few teams that can really lock down the underneath and not allow teams to really thrive off the short dinks and dunks against them. So that played right into the hands of Georgia's defense there. The only honorable mentions I had were for Alfred Walker, 13 total tackles, and that guy Michael King out there, man, 2 interceptions, and the day belongs to Georgia.
Yeah, big time interception, big time game from Michael King, as you pointed out, 2 interceptions. I think he's been on the road 2 weeks back to back that he's been able to get some picks, so he's playing well. You kind of expect these type of games in these conference games. You expect it to be a lot more closer. I mean, didn't expect a goose egg to be exactly on the board. I guess if we're talking about Georgia, maybe that's the case. But like you said, I mean, only 16 points, the lowest amount of points they've scored so far this season against the team. And it's been a little bit of a trend right here. But like Bill said, these guys find a way to grind it out. But the last 2 weeks, they've only been able to score 17 the week before and then 16 here. Starting to see those numbers go down. Do you guys think that there's a possibility that they are probably not playing up to their talents? We're seeing Perkins not run as explosive as he used to, which is a big reason why I think guys are giving a nod to Amir Williams now being the top back coming into college into the draft from the college series. So, what's you guys' thoughts on Georgia's performance as of late?
It's tough to say. You could say that, it seems like they're slowing down a little bit, or maybe they're just playing it game to game. Every game is different. Doesn't mean that the team is different as a whole, but sometimes you play to the opponents you're playing. Sometimes you play differently because of whatever the case is. I'm not really sure yet if they're really like slowing down, or if maybe they're just taking it game by game. And hey, as long as we got more points at the end of it, we're good. I'd like to see him go up against another big time opponent before I could really make a official decision on that.
Yeah, man, you got to be Georgia. Only Georgia would be in the chat wanting us to highlight a block punt by King. I don't care about your little stinky block punt, man. Who cares about your block punt, man? It happens. Anyway, I gave him the 2 interceptions. Y'all got the win, 16-0. So cap it. Anyway, rest in peace to that right there, Speedy. Yeah. So, man, Perkins, he's proved to be the more serviceable back, you could say, with 733 yards so far. Now, that doesn't add on what he had this week. I don't think they've done week 7 just yet. But actually, I think Amir Williams may actually have, after that performance, he actually may be the leading rusher right now. But I'm just gonna say that I like what and I'm just gonna be real, man. I don't hold it back. I think that Cam Perkins is a solid back. I think that he's great for this team here, but he's not as flashy as Amir Williams. And if I'm looking for a back that, like, see, Amir Williams takes over the game, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he just really just takes it over, and he's played 2 less games than Cameron Perkins. And so I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the whole story right now. You know what I mean? Both of them, have been in the end zone, like, I guess the same amount of times through week 6. We got to see what the tally is now. They're 2 good backs, 2 different style of backs. It doesn't take any shade off to Cam Perkins. He means a lot to Georgia's team. But I'm an Amir Williams fan, man. He got 4 80-yarders, and he got sweet looking gear. So that's what I'm saying. Amir Williams all day.
Amir Williams got also I think the most 200-yard rushing games out of a running back. Only didn't start his first 2 games, as you pointed out. And only part I do disagree with is that I do feel like Perkins and Amir Williams are the same style of back. Due to how elusive they are. But like you said, I think Amir Williams is just a tad bit more flashy. He can pull off those juke moves successfully. You've seen, Perkins being in defensive games where the last 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, we've seen him trying to finesse and pull off a juke move, and they just haven't been working. Maybe it's because they've been playing against tougher opponents. Who knows? But I know that, you got Amir Williams in that situation. Yeah. He's going to pull out of there. So, I mean, not going to say that he's a bad back by any means. He's still up there.
I'm not saying he's a bad back.
Yeah, I know. I'm just talking in general.
That way.
Yeah, you didn't point. You didn't say it that way.
Just making sure. Yeah.
But my opinion is just just to look out for the low scoring. But then again, maybe it wasn't even a point to really bring up of emphasis due to the fact that, we got playbooks now in this situation. Georgia could be even more of a powerhouse when we get them situated. So, going to be interesting to see how that turns out.
Hey, I got to say this, though. My man Jermaine said cut the injury zone next game. Facts. I wish we could just do injuries for just the game, man. That would change the whole dynamic of a lot.
That's what I was planning on doing, but we got this far. So, unfortunately, got to let that go. But definitely am planning on doing that next season. I think that would definitely be a great factor. I just don't want – at first, I just didn't want guys missing games and stuff like that. But, hey, as long as you can come back the next week, I think that would be good. So we'll make sure to have that for next season.
Hey, Smitty, did you see Beasel's comment in the chat before?
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
I saw it, Bees. I just didn't say anything because I was going to get that after I covered it. Yeah. So
came through.
Mm-hmm. So that was it for the that was it for the graphics for the premier games. We're about to go ahead and get a look at the next game here, which is
okay.
There we go.
Why would the only
Mississippi State and Alabama going at it, man. Alabama, they've been on the streak since they took their loss to Georgia, and they were able to get a pretty solid win over Mississippi State. Final score 24-7. That boy McCall, he kind of went off this game.
Yeah, I really don't have a whole lot to say for this one. I expected Alabama to win, and they did so in the type of fashion that I expected them to win. Just another great performance for them, and especially McCall. Him and Pablo seem to have a pretty dang good chemistry going on right now. And anytime you got a quarterback and receiver combo that's feeling it, that's tough to stop. And Alabama, they're going to go as far as these guys can take them, and so far it's looking good. Me personally, I want to see a Georgia and Alabama rematch. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and cue my imaginary jukebox right now. Get the disco ball and the lights going right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and sing for the RFL. Staying alive.
You cutting out.
Yeah, that Mike doesn't even want you to sing.
Mike don't even want you doing it, man.
Anyway, I don't even care. Hey, anyway, unlike Bill selling them wolf tickets to the Badgers games, Bama backs it up, baby. I know y'all heard that. Roll Tide all day. This ad sponsorship is by Bama Beds. For all you people who love to sleep on Bama, we are handing out free mattresses so you can sleep in style at either our bowl game or our playoff game this season. Bama Beds, strong enough for an elephant. Hey, certified for all you haters. And before I get into this honorable mention right here, I want to go ahead and shout out my man, brother Jacob McCall, who would like me to ask all the RFL congregation to reach out to your fellow hater and say, hater, I am blessed. Amen. Now the sermon begins. So anyway, honorable mention to all of Bama for the total control they had here. 32 full minutes in this game of domination. Mississippi State only had the ball 15 minutes, procrastinating. RIP to that right there. Jacob McCall, 120.5 QBR, 30 for 39, 349 yards, 2 touchdowns. Najee Harris, 24 carries, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pavo, 2 touchdowns. Ruggs, 4 still done. All of them had good days, and I'm going to leave it right there.
Yeah, game just pretty much turning out how we expected. McCall having a nice game, close to 350 yards, literally a yard off passing. He had, like you said, the connection with Frederick looking pretty good. He has some pretty good connections throughout this game. Even Braden Dunn showing out for a couple of big grabs. So, just getting it done as expected, man. Alabama, showing that this is a... I don't know how it's a sleeper team, but guys tend not to talk about them. They didn't talk about Alabama last year as much. They fell final ranking at 5th in the RFL College Series last year. Here they are in the top 4, looking to try to be guaranteed a spot to play. And the way that they're playing right now, I mean, it looks like playoffs might be on the list. Still got themselves the rest of the season to go with a couple more tough opponents. But man, how about another point we didn't point out about this game was Najee Harris, man. The guy, he's been inconsistent in this throughout this season a little bit. Sometimes he's had some big games, but more than not, it's just been inconsistent for Harris to get off. In this one, he had over 100 yards rushing, and I think he really got it done and really made this offense even more potent than it usually is out there on the field. So a great job for Alabama getting both, not only the pass game as they usually do, but the run game going. And if they can continue to keep that up, I think the playoffs is definitely going to be a sure go for these guys.
Roll Tide.
Moving on to the next game, we've had Iowa taking on Penn State. Iowa was unranked at the time, hence you guys already know they're going to be ranked this week after another big win. 3 straight wins in a row, all upsets, and they get it done over Penn State with a final score of 30-24.
I thought this one was a little weird. I mean, Iowa's been creeping. They've been doing this all season long. And they get the win here. I just thought Penn State started off a little slow, extremely slow. I think it was like a minute left before they finally got some points on the board. And
that was their first touchdown right there. I think that was.
Yeah, you just can't have it. The first score was in the third quarter. They got a 3-pointer. They got a field goal before the halftime, and you just can't do that against any team. And they had a little bit of a jolt in the third quarter, right as you see the pass from Ramos here, and then also I think Valentine had a touchdown right after that, and they were right back in the lead, I think, actually by a point. Mm-hmm. And then they just fell off again. And anytime you try to play a team, doesn't matter if it's Iowa, Georgia, Mississippi State, doesn't matter who it is, you can't only score in like one quarter and expect to win the game. I don't care who you are, and that's sort of what happened to Penn State here. You just got to have a little bit more consistency, but. Like I said, Iowa's been this sort of playing been trying to play spoiler for a while, and they did it. They got the win.
Yeah, man, and any given Sunday you can get dropped off here. So rest in peace to Penn State, man. It is what it is. Smitty, again, I just felt like I was saying it's like Groundhog Day. You ever seen that movie, man, where the same thing keep happening every single day for him or something like that, man? And that's what's happening here with Markman and Peterson, man. Up another 186 yards on the ground. Rest in peace to that. PSU they just couldn't get it done despite stellar performance from Justin Shorter, 8 receptions, 99 yards and 2 touchdowns. VV had 8 receptions there, but man, he had 41 yards, and I kind of winced a little bit when you see the 41. But if you actually watch the game, man, he had 8 solid catches, man, in coverage, jumping all over the place, making first downs and stuff. So he had a pretty good day there. Also, I highlighted Mason Kahn, 7 receptions, 98 yards here, and that guy over there for Iowa, Butler. He came up big in situations. Only 5 receptions, but you just had to be there to watch it, to see the moments in which he came alive and caught some balls here, man. And that's all I had to say about that one.
Yeah, big win for Iowa. Like I said, 3rd straight win. This leads me to this question. Do you guys think that, 3-game winning streak like this, beating on some pretty impressive teams for, of course, their standards, do you think that Iowa is going to be bowl eligible this year? They need 3 more wins. Of course, you got about 5 more games left here. Do you think they can get that done? They were in the bowl game last year. I can't remember off the top of my head if they won that, but, could they go back?
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it seems like it's just one game that they're behind, but it seems like everybody almost has 4 wins. So, like, there's just a lot of other teams that I think are going to be pushing for those kind of spots. And while they have been playing really well, I mean, it's not like they've had, in my opinion, anything that's been like a dominating, like, wow, this is a great team win. It's always been like these close games, whether it's losing or winning to me. And I don't know, man. I think that statistically, again, they probably have a shot at a bowl game. I just don't know if they're going to get in over another team who's maybe had a couple of more bigger wins than they have.
Yeah, at this point, I look at it like this, man. The damage that Markman and Peterson are doing right now, man, they've got to be up to almost 1,300 yards rushing combined. And with that combined with the fact that they are playing better since the slider change and the game mode change, and then at the same time, the playbook changing, right? So now we're going to be able to see them with the playbook that may actually cater more to their style.
Well, this week, this was the week that they got to play that game against Penn State with the playbook. So they got the win.
Playbook.
So
well then, yeah, man. So then what we got to do now is we got to look at what the week 8 opponent is coming up here. So they got Clemson. So we're gonna know. We're gonna know here. They play Clemson at home, and we're gonna find out whether or not Iowa is about it.
Yeah, I don't see them winning that. They might get punched on because we still haven't even gave Clemson their book, and they were in a close game with Wisconsin, which shouldn't even have been the case. But I mean,
whoa!
But man, I'm telling you right now,
that was an uncalled for low blow.
That's a tough L right there that they're going to take. And yeah, it is kind of tough. Who else is on their schedule? Can you read the rest?
All right, so they have. So we had week 8 was Clemson, and then they play Michigan week 9.
Okay.
Then they play Nebraska week 10, and then they play Ole Miss week 11, and then they play. Have they had a bye yet?
I'm not sure.
I don't think they've had a bye. So their bye here is coming in week 12, and then week 13. Oh, they play Wisconsin. Yeah, they might go 3-0.
What the heck is going on here?
They might be able to get 3 wins.
Yeah,
they might be able to get 3 wins.
I mean, the hardest game is going to be against Michigan, but the way they've been playing, man, you can't even give Michigan that right now. So, yeah.
All right, well, I guess that's just one of those games we're just going to have to see, man. Iowa getting it done again. Let's see. I mean, I doubt it, but let's see what they do against Clemson this upcoming week. But moving on, we had Michigan, speaking of them, taking on Minnesota. They got a last-minute win off of a 59-yard game-winning field goal by Michael Floda. And here they were taking on number 3 conference Big Ten rival Minnesota, and they ended up getting it done. Final score 20-13.
This is a big upset for the week and for Michigan in general. They've had their fair share of troubles throughout the series, but they get it done. I think everybody had Minnesota winning this game, and it's not for any dislike for Michigan. It's just the stats. Minnesota was a great team. They're number 3, you said, and they've been playing lights out. But Michigan did just enough on offense to find a way to poke holes in the Minnesota defense to get into the end zone, and the defense was able to hold them at bay just enough, and they pull it out. All I gotta say though, man, is I'm still waiting, man. Darius, you need to get yourself a touchdown. And Polly, if you're out there, I've seen you in the chat a couple times, man. You need to start throwing the ball to this guy. Come on now.
Yeah, it's not over for you, Michigan. 4-3 on the season, man. I'm just gonna give you guys this little quote here, man. My mom used to say to me, "Gold is tested in the fire," man. I think that's a biblical scripture, man. But this team here, man, and that quote there, gold is tested in the fire. That kind of speaks to what I've been seeing about these guys. They find ways to win when the odds are against them. They battle back, they battle through, they're battle tested, they battle through the struggles at times. Where the offense is, just been chaotic and unorganized. They just continue to fight week in and week out. They don't just go down, and so I really think that this team is just on the cusp right now on the fence, man. They can either sink or swim right now, and hopefully, they're going to be on, with the playbook change, they're going to be, on their way to some better things, and maybe they'll become more organized. Man, I had to rest in peace to 2 interceptions by Carson Kershaw there. He just never really got going there. And my honorable mention went to Drake Sandstrom with the 24 carries, 149 yards, and 1 touchdown. I've been saying this all season that this team is, and it's no shade to Darius, man. He knows, I love him, a great guy, and I really want him to get his first touchdown. But I'm just speaking from a coach's point of view, man. Drake Sandstrom is the centerpiece of this offense here, and it doesn't matter if we're all friends or not. With Darius, you got to run Sandstrom. You got to run Sandstrom because Sandstrom is where it is, and unfortunately, the wide receiver Poli just doesn't have that. He doesn't have that it factor to spread the ball around to his wide receivers, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And he's doing more taking off. His taking off is looking great, but distributing the ball to his number 1 wide receiver has been a struggle. And it's, he doesn't have but no touchdowns to Darius Hodge, and that to me just means that this is a ground heavy team, and so they got to work that in some kind of way. I wish I could scheme Michigan. I know exactly what to do with him, but I can't. You know what I mean? So just get the ball to this guy, man, and pray that you can get Darius Hodge worked into the season here. With the games they have left here. As far as Minnesota, I gave honorable mentions to Johnson. 7 of 94, and Broomgren, 5 of 81. They lead the day here, and also is there a Winfield Jr. Smitty? User submitted.
Winfield Jr. Player.
Okay, well he was balling, so he's ringing out there. So I'm not going to go ahead and highlight his stats there. But Russell with 2 L's, Smitty, we got to fix that.
Yeah.
Inside the
weeks.
The foul. Yeah, it's been weeks. Sorry, Russell with 2 L's. You only got 1 L. But
I
8
guess the other one he took care in this game.
Yeah, took care in this game. Rest in peace to that. I knew you were going to say it. 8 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, though. I gave him an honorable mention there, man. Salute to you, my guy.
Yeah, you'll get that L back when you get a W next week, hopefully. But Minnesota, I mean, another question about this team. I mean, after this loss, this is only their 2nd loss of the season. Do you still think that these guys are a sleeper team? I mean, 2 losses. Could they potentially make it into the playoffs?
I mean, the record says yeah. I don't know. I'm not saying they're not one of the best teams. When I'm thinking of the top 4 teams or the guys that I want to see, that's just not one of the teams that I think of. Not to say that they're not talented, because obviously they are, but I think of Georgia and Alabama, Baylor, maybe USC. Those teams, I just don't see Minnesota in the same tier as I see them yet. I mean, that might change in the next couple of weeks. You can't call them a sleeper team either, because they've been playing well all season. I just don't know if they're going to be one of the 4 teams to get the playoff spot.
Well, before you talk, Rob, I would still consider them a sleeper team due to the fact that, no one expected them to be here right now. So that's kind of like what I meant by the sleeper team with that. And just like you said, it's kind of almost like the definition of what you said. When you think about those top teams, despite them having this good of a record, you don't think about them. So I would say they're a sleeper team.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't want to be too outspoken on this one. Minnesota has a cake schedule, I think, the rest of the season. So I think that they're going to end up getting some wins. They're going to be that team that everyone's, like Smitty says, is sleeping on here. And yeah, they probably going to have a really good record. But honestly, man, it's going to be like the season went by and you saw the Jets go to the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Not exactly what everybody is really wanting to watch. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I feel like they're definitely gonna be up there, and they probably will make the playoffs. But it's gonna be like Minnesota is there. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm just being totally honest right there, man. I'm not really getting wind of these guys here, man. You know what I mean? Like, and they're gonna win out, man. Because I looked at the schedule right here. Let's see. So week 13, they play Nebraska week 13, and then week 12 they play. Let's see, where are we at? Minnesota. Oh, they play Ole Miss, right? Week 12. And then let's see, and that'll be a home game. They play Mississippi State. That's another home game, week 11. Let's see. And I'm already counting that as 3 wins right there, right? And then looking at this, let me see, Minnesota in week 10. Where are we? So I think they have so they must not have had a bye yet. So they have a bye in week 10 there. So they will come here to week 9. And I'm looking at week 9, and they play Michigan State. Now, that might be a fight, but Michigan State hasn't been playing, I guess, the toughest. You know what I mean? You never know. You know what I mean? So they probably could very well win that. That's already 4 games right there they could win. And then this week 8 they got right here, they play Florida State. So, I mean, it's possible for this team I don't see this team dropping 2 games out of those 5. I see this team possibly winning all 5 of those. But even if they do just drop one of those games, what is that going to make their record, Smitty? 9-2.
So
they 9-3
still be in the playoffs pretty much.
So exactly. So when they get to the playoffs, now it's like you got the Gophers in there with all the other teams, the Bulldogs. You know what I mean? Whoever, the USC's and all these guys. So it's gonna be kind of weird, man. For me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it is a reality. I agree with you there, Rob. Man, it's gonna be. It's just a team, if they make it, you just feel like they're going to get eliminated in the first round type deal. But we'll have to see how that turns out. But still a good season right now for the Golden Gophers in their first year in the college series. Next, we have Texas A&M. They took on Auburn, and Auburn was able to get back into form. Javon Warren was getting it going, rushing for touchdowns. You can see right there, and he got it done over TAMU in the final score, 34-24.
Yeah, this is a great game to watch for Auburn. Javon Warren and Chris Williams, I think they were having some fun out there this game. They got really Warren had a great game, and I just thought that the Auburn as a whole played great. The offense was firing on all cylinders, and they seemed to do enough to hold JTA away from doing what he can do, and they sealed the win in the end. So good game for Auburn.
Yeah, Javon Warren, man, he looked great. Really liked what I saw to him, the 125 QBR, 25 of 28, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, 8 carries, 78 yards. Man, that guy just continues to amaze us. Great day for the halfback, Asden Collins, as well, 24 carries, 115 yards. Man, that guy is like a bus, man. 1 touchdown, gone, man. Christian Williams, 7 receptions, 72 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Boy, was he electrifying, at points of that game. J.P. Scott was getting there on the show, too. He has little 5 catches, man. Nice one up the sideline. And so, yeah, man, I just like those guys. They're just a trio. They're, well, actually 4 of them, so I don't know what you call that after that. But anyway, they're definitely, I think it's a quintuplet or something like that. But they're definitely doing a great job. Getting wins and everything. They just had a solid day, and I just can't say enough. As for TAMU though, man, Cardenas, he had 7 receptions, 96 yards, and I wanted to actually highlight that kid Anthony Fry. He only had 4 receptions, 53 yards, but he was very instrumental, and he's a solid wide receiver. I really like this guy because I feel like he probably is gonna at the next level. He probably is gonna need help with just getting open, maybe releasing off the line and stuff like that.
Well, he's a tight end.
It seems like
I think I know.
But I see them trying to work him into the passing game, but it's kind of struggles, And so I feel like the main thing that I saw to him though is that he blocks very, very well. And some of the footage I was seeing was like he was going, to the second levels and blocking, wide receivers. And he was actually instrumental in the 91 yards that Meadows had. If you're looking, I feel like, looking at this guy, he's not, he seems like he can be a weapon, like an offensive weapon in the passing game, but I feel like he's also very physical as far as like blocking, that's just something that I saw, you know what I mean? But I'm just really loving what I'm seeing out of the guy. I feel he's also a really good community member as well. And so, just seems like a locker room kind of guy. So just want to do the honorable mention to Anthony Fry there. Definitely watching you, man, and hopefully you ball out the next few weeks. And also, my other strong point I wanted to say was that JTA, he's got to get better. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to the 12 turnovers he has this year. And this is just turnover central for JTA. And I don't care. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like those turnovers are the reasons that they're losing. And that's just that, man. So got to get better there.
Yeah, you can't be having a cool nickname and having that happen.
Yeah. And that's one of the things we talk about, man. And I'm not just trying to beat up on JTA, man. It's all good. We like you as a community member, man. Trust me. But it's like, guys talk about the swag and everything and the visors and everything, man. That's what I was saying, man. Like, yeah, you out here with all the swag and everything, you know what I mean? And then your player is not playing well, and that's just something that, I know for my team, man, we're not putting all that on you if you didn't earn it. So yeah.
And I guess once again another playoff question. They Auburn lost 2 games straight before coming into this. They were at one point the number 2 team in the country until they took a loss, which I believe that first one was to Georgia. I think I might be off with that one. I think Georgia being for that second loss. But Auburn, with this win, the way that Javon looked, do you think they'll be able to get themselves back up into the top 4?
I mean, it's gonna be a very, messy. Not messy. What's the word I'm looking for here? Stacked situation, I guess. There's a lot of teams battling for them. Yeah, there we go. I mean, it's not out of the question. They're 5-2. I mean, it's not like they're right up there record wise. I just don't know if can they carry this for the rest of the season. And it's gonna be. I want to see that first. I want to see some consistency before I can say that they're gonna be there. I think they obviously have a chance, but I think they're on the outside looking in it right now at this point.
They got to go and play Oregon this week, so that's going to be interesting there. And then let's see, in week 9, I'm looking for them. They may have the bye in week 9. It looks like that'll be their first bye. And then let's see, week 10, they come back. And they will play Mississippi State, which is a winnable game in my opinion. In week 11, they play LSU. That's going to be a good game. It's winnable. It's winnable for Auburn. I'm gonna give them that. It's winnable. In week 12, they play Tennessee. Definitely winnable. And then in week 13, that is going to be. Let's see, Auburn. Okay, they play Alabama. That's a L. So yeah, you guys could pretty much go, I would say 3-1. You're gonna lose to Bama, but you could go 3-1. So that adds on to what is it? What's the record? Yeah, 9-3. Yeah,
so
that's what's gonna be.
Playoff eligible team, man. Still, like it depends. I think on what they're gonna do against LSU and Alabama to close out the season. But they definitely got the opportunity in their hands to be at it. Once we're the number 2 ranked team, dropped down to number 9 in this week against Texas A&M. Of course, after the win, they'll be going up a bit. But we're going to have to see. Shout out to Nashawn for the $10 donation. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the final game to recap, which was the game of the week. Baylor and USC. Number 5 took on number 2. And this game definitely lived up to the hype. A lot of big-time plays on both sides of the field. But USC was able to get it done with a final score 28-14.
I thought exactly what you just said, man. This game I thought lived up to the hype. Both teams came ready to play, and they both played well. It was just really exciting to watch, man. And aside from that, man, great win for USC. But man, I'm gonna tell you guys, I just told you this before we came on here that I got that little bike that I got set up to like a makeshift elliptical, right? And I'm on that thing and I'm going to town on my exercises watching this game. And when Dorian Cope made that catch in the fourth quarter, man, I just started yelling like, "What just happened?" I almost fell off the dang thing, man. It was a great play. But yeah, it's been it was a good game, and I was glad it lived up to the hype.
Yes, man. I had a lot going on in that game, man. I actually thought it would be a little bit more competitive. It actually was competitive. The score kind of doesn't say that much, but it was a competitive game. I thought. You can see here in the third quarter, it says it was just 7-7 in the third. This was a late game that kind of turned up in the fourth. But it's just Baylor, man. Baylor in this defense, man. Sometimes, man, I'm just kind of curious, man, as to what's going on, with this team. I know, offensively, I know it's like I know they're good, but I just kind of get shocked, man, with the way they play sometimes. I don't know what it is, man. I know they're better than this, though. You know what I mean? And so, I don't know, man. USC, hats off to them. Hats off for getting it done. I guess the home field advantage is real here. And they're 6-1 on the season. Are they championship contenders? Yeah, of course. But it's just, man, I don't know. I wasn't expecting them to kind of roll over Baylor like this. It's just I don't know. I didn't think that was gonna happen. So, yeah, it's a great win for them, man. So what do you say?
Yeah. As for USC, I kind of had expectations that USC would win this one. Simply because they've been really playing some really good football, man. And like you said, you've seen some inconsistencies from Baylor at times. I can't remember. This is still a toss-up game when coming into this one. I can't remember who I even voted for when we were in the last week's podcast. But I think I picked one, and then I said if it turned out this way, then I wouldn't be surprised. And I wasn't surprised at the outcome. I feel like it was a low-scoring game due to the fact that the offenses, even though it wasn't a lot of points scored, the offenses were actually moving the ball and eating up time. I mean, there was the entire first half, it was like a total of like 6 or 7 possessions. Then like the first quarter was all ate up off of just 2 possessions by Baylor and 1 from USC. So I mean, I think this game was only low scoring due to the fact that the offenses, were eating up time, moving down the field effectively, and then when they finally scored, time was ate up, or they couldn't score and they had to punt it away or something. So I thought this was an excellent game. USC becoming bowl eligible after this win with a 6-1 record, as you mentioned. And, of course, got to ask the questions here now. I mean, USC's looking pretty good, man. Do you think that they are national championship contenders this year?
I think they are. They're 6-1. They're playing great. They had. I mean, there was a couple of games where it was like maybe not as dominant of a performance as you expect them to have, being that they are 6-1, but they get it done. And Baylor is no slouch. I mean, they themselves only had 1 loss coming into this game. I think for one thing though is I know we talk about them a little bit, but I think we need to start talking about Anthony Gonzalez and Jakari Torres a little bit more, because they have been getting this team rolling all season long.
Well, just before you talk on that more, I that's one thing I was impressed with USC, because I of course I know you should definitely throw Jakari Torres in there. He's been eating, but Anthony Gonzalez honestly was not doing that great before heading into this game. He had 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and there was games where they won, but it wasn't in favor due to help from him. So for him to come in this game against Baylor and look as good as he did, that's what I was very impressed with. And with that, that's why I think these guys could be some real contenders if he continues to play like this.
Yeah, I just keep seeing glimpses from him. Like you said, he's had an up and down year, but every once in a while he surprised me with some of his playmaking, and he sort of just put it together in this game. And I just think that he's a guy we're gonna have to keep an eye on, a little bit closer of an eye on, heading into the later part of the season.
I'm kind of conflicted a little bit here. I think that they just beat up on the top three defense, in this league here. And I'm not going to say in what order it is, but I think that Baylor is definitely a top 3 defense in the series. And I'm just hats off to him, man. Hats off to him for going in here. I mean, for getting this done, obviously at home against Baylor. We talk about these guys, bad news bears, but man, that offense just couldn't do anything, and so just hats off, man. To USC, and I'm definitely looking for them to be in the playoffs.
All right. So that's going to do it for our recaps here of these games. And we're going to go ahead and get a look at the new top 25 rankings in the RFL College Series. So let's go ahead and get a look at those. I think I pressed the wrong button. Okay, here we go. So here's a look at it. Of course, Georgia still number 1, the only undefeated team in the series. USC, after the win, stays at number 2. Alabama at 3. Clemson moving up to 4. Auburn at 5. Minnesota dropping to 6. Oklahoma State moving up to 7. Baylor dropping to 8. Florida at 9. Florida State staying at 10. USC 11. LSU 12. Penn State 13. Michigan 14. Oklahoma 15. Miami 16. Michigan State 17. West Virginia 18. Texas 19. Wisconsin 20. Utah, even after the win, still stayed at 21. And you got Iowa at 22. Oregon 23, Mississippi State 24, and Washington, despite having a bye week this past week, moving up to 25 due to some losses. So what's your guys' thoughts on this ranking?
I like it, man. I don't really see a whole lot here that I would change. I really don't. I think if this was like 2 weeks from now, I think Utah might even be a little bit higher up on this list, man. They've been playing really well lately. Yeah. But aside from that, I think the order is good. I agree with it.
Smitty, are you putting playbooks on Wisconsin this week?
I'm putting playbooks on all of them. Everybody's
Can I put the playbooks on them?
So for this week, I'm going to be a Wisconsin fan because y'all need to go ahead and get USC out of here with new playbooks.
Wisconsin plays USC this week?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's easy. That's a W right there.
I'm jumping on the Bill bandwagon, and y'all can rest in peace both of us if they lose.
Yeah, Jakari, Ferrari, and Gonzalez, they're going to be they're going to be put back in the garage, man, because it's going to be Wisconsin W all day.
Now, if y'all lose to Wisconsin, they got to jump all the way down to like 25, man.
Well, it's all record base and talent base.
And Wisconsin's got to go up to number 2.
Wisconsin is not moving anywhere.
Boy. Oh man! But shout out to those USC guys, man. I'm liking what I'm seeing, man. Looks pretty straight for me.
Yeah, I was trying to see about, it was an impressive win for Utah, and I was trying to see if there's any way for them to move them. They literally stayed at 21 still. There was no way for me to even move them anywhere. So, I mean, that's tough. They're just going to have to prove themselves. And I think these rankings are getting way more defined now as the season goes on because of the records. So now it's like I can barely move teams anywhere, and it's less opinionated based off of how they perform for me, and it's more going off of, what they've done. So, I mean, this list is forming really well. And, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I don't have the schedule, guys, for I was not able to create the schedule for this week. The graphic, I just did not have the time to put in the team logos of who was facing on there. But what we will do, we will still go over it. I will read the schedule out because I do have it written down in my notes. I will still create the schedule and post that out on social media so you guys can have. But yeah,
I thought Beazle sent it.
No, he sent the top 100 list, the new guys we're gonna go over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Yeah, we're gonna go over
I thought
that.
he did a schedule.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately couldn't get that done, guys. But it's definitely a change in the schedule. That's what we had here in the podcast. I might as well put up the podcast thumbnail, as you can see, as the top points.
Smitty, you got to go ahead and get a bell. They got to get a bell if you're not having a schedule, man. Go ahead and put it up. Put it up.
Give yourself a
bell. Yeah, I get a bell. I shouldn't really get a bell, man. I was working all morning, man.
Hey,
that was ridiculous.
We don't make the rules, man.
Hey, you're right. I'll take it. But hey, yeah, that was crazy. Just making those highlights, those were dope. But man, I was up since I woke up, and I still couldn't get to the schedule. So
yeah, I feel you.
I mean, I guess I'll take a half bell, man. That's
no, ain't no half bell. You gotta take a bell.
I get a bell like this.
No, you get a full bell.
I get the half bell.
Nah, you get a whole bell.
Look, man, just because you got the control of the bell doesn't mean you can decide the fate of the bell.
Hey, I gave myself a whole bell and a half trying to say the hell.
All right, good.
So,
all
right. That sucks. I don't know how you guys feel, especially you, Bill, when Wisconsin loses.
Just quit it already.
Lito said give him a Liberty Bell.
Liberty Bell.
That's a big bell.
You guys You guys ain't right, man. But
You ain't right.
what we got? Oh yeah. So let me go ahead and read off this. I'm trying to pull it up in my notes. All right. So the schedule has changed drastically. Okay. So it's definitely changed drastically. So this is the schedule. So we're literally only going to be calling one game on Thursday. Okay. There's no more Tuesday and Friday games. We have to focus all of our attention for guys who weren't here when we talked about before on the RFL, making sure that's prepared and ready to go for next season. We got a lot of big stuff planned, and we cannot afford to, focus everything here on the college series. It's been great so far and everything, but we've got to move our resources where it's more important on the pro series. But the first game that we have for tomorrow is going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern. Our games that we do call are all going to be dual commentary, and it will only be one game instead of two games like we were doing. So me and Rob will be calling Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma. So with that being said, what do you guys think about Oklahoma that game?
Ooh, that's interesting. But I gotta go with Oklahoma, man. You gotta go with the Rock. Yeah. I
got it. And that's I'm doing that right. Yeah, I'm doing the wrong one.
Say, who's that?
I didn't say it. You can't bell me. You can't bell me.
No, we gonna bell you because we knew what you was going. You knew what you were trying to do.
Steve Austin.
If I'm gonna get the bell, you gonna get the bell.
You can't dodge wrestling fans, man. Oh my God, man.
That. You're about to do and that's the bottom line. Because Nick said so.
Yeah, you definitely deserve the
Rest
bell
in
for that.
peace to that one,
Yeah,
man.
get another
God.
So I guess we're all on agreement there with that. Moving on, man, we're going to have a lot more games now showing up on Premiere Day. We had a total of 15 games that are going to be coming up this week for Week 8. And, 12 of those will be on Premiere Day. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1 p.m. games. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 4 p.m. games. And then what I decided to do, Rob, is we're going to call a game on Saturday.
Wait. Say what?
Instead of one, we're gonna call it games on the weekends, so we can have at least an extra game of calling
on Saturday.
Yeah, if you're not able to be there, I'll call it like I did the Tuesday and the Friday. So don't worry about it. But I want to make sure that the final games at least have something. So Saturday, I'll be calling, or whenever you're available, I'll be calling that game, just to make sure that we don't just have literally 3 games. I know 4 is not too much better, but at least it's 4. 3 games with no commentary would have been bad.
I might have missed it. Are you putting the games on Sunday?
No, I'm putting the games on Saturday, the Premier games on Saturday, and then we just have a one game we're calling on Sunday, and we finish on Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So moving on. I already said moving on and everything, but the game we got to start out, the 1 p.m. games, we got Michigan State versus Nebraska. I got Michigan State.
Hey, but my bad. I didn't mean to sound so crazy about the Saturday thing, man. I was trying to understand what was going on.
Oh no, it's all good.
They bagging on me right now.
You'll be able to see. You'll be able to see it better when I show you the schedule, because you can't really see it since I don't have it up.
Yeah.
So we're picking teams. I'll go Michigan State.
Yeah.
What was the team again?
Michigan State versus Nebraska.
Oh yeah, Michigan State.
All right, we might as well almost just about roll through these unless we got here an interesting game. But we got Notre Dame and Washington. Now Notre Dame, man, on a 6-game losing streak. I might take Washington in this one.
Hasn't Washington been playing sort of off too, though?
Yeah, but they at least won more than one game. And
we'll go Washington.
Washington.
Yeah, so Washington there. Let me see. What is Washington? Yeah, they're 2-4, so not too much better, but at least they're better. Next, we got Alabama versus Tennessee. Alabama all day. Tennessee's not been looking good. You said tough call?
Yeah, that's a tough call.
Maybe it would have been a tough call if they still have Roy Kincaid, but he's not there. He's playing for the Elks on Sundays.
This is Minnesota?
No, Alabama.
Oh, Bama? Oh, you had to think about it?
I was kidding.
Come on, man. You ain't even got to ask me, Smitty. You already know.
Yeah, I did a pause just in case you had anything to say, but I already knew the answer. USC versus Wisconsin. USC all day, man.
Well, I think Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin.
And Rob, you said you were with him this week, huh?
Bill, you about to get me hung out here, man. Yeah, I'm going Wisconsin, man. Wisconsin with playbooks, man.
Wisconsin with playbooks.
Smitty, what do you think?
I already said
It doesn't
USC.
matter what you think.
Hey, just know that y'all about to get a whole lot of these.
Hey, you
when y'all
can't
take
just roll
that
past.
L.
I just got you with the rock line. You can't just roll past it like that. What the
Nah,
heck,
I
man?
can roll past it because
You can't roll past.
you didn't really hit the line right. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
did.
It didn't really,
I did.
didn't really resonate to make me salty, you know. But good take.
Whatever, man.
Uh,
Whatever, man.
I just want to say that Wisconsin, I will
Watch
give
your
Bill
words
this.
here.
Wisconsin with a playbook, I think, geared around allowing Love to get the ball to Duncan and make plays with his feet. I think that they might be a little bit scary, man. And
Oh, they are.
And I think that and if I know what Bill's talking about, you know, as far as this is just coming from a coaching point of view, I don't think that USC is going to roll over these guys at home. And I like USC a lot. And I think the USC is definitely the stronger team here. But I think that with the playbook or whatever, the scheme to cater to the style of Wisconsin, I think that they're going to put up a fight. So I'm going to jump in the bandwagon with Bill on this one.
right,
say
then,
that they might get it done. They might get it done at home this week against USC.
If that happens, that's definitely upset of the week, man.
Yeah,
but it's not going to happen. But man, we'll have to see. But you know, I think I already can see the future here with that. But we got Utah and West Virginia. We got in that. I think West Virginia just came off a good win. Utah just came off a even better win.
Oh no!
I don't know who to take. I want to hear you guys. Who do you think on this?
Oh man, these are like both the teams I've been rooting for the last month, man. I don't know who to choose.
Yep, West Virginia, Utah. That's a tough one.
All right, chat, real quick. Who do I pick in this game? Tell me. Rob, you can go ahead. I don't know.
I think that the wise decision is to say that West Virginia has the home field advantage, and if last week is any of a sign that they are back and Leo Moon is in form, then they do get the win here. But you cannot, Utah, man, they've been looking mighty good, you know, the last couple of weeks here, and they will have their books too. So the favorite is Utah is the underdog here. And West Virginia is highly favored in this ballgame.
Yep, chat told me I got to go for West Virginia.
Yeah, I might go. I might just agree with Rob there with that home field advantage thing. This is a really hard game to pick. Very interesting game to watch, guys. Make sure to go out and watch that one. Clemson versus Iowa. Iowa's been balling, but we already pretty much gave them the RIP when we was going over games when we find out that's who they're playing this week. So, I got Clemson all day. Who you guys got?
Yeah, I'll take Clemson in this one. I like Iowa, but like I said, man, they haven't really done any game where it's just like, wow, this team is so good. It's been more like, oh, wow, I can't believe they pulled that off. So, yeah, I'm going to go Clemson in this one.
I'll go ahead and play devil's advocate here, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to play devil's advocate, man. I'm going to say that I like Iowa in this running attack by Peterson and Markman in this game. And I think that with the playbook here, I think that they're going to put up a fight against Clemson, and I think they're going to narrowly escape in this ball game at home.
Bold prediction right there from Rob, man. Just know we're going to have
Somebody
them
had to do
RIPs
it.
ready for you.
Yeah.
But we'll RP the whole community, including myself and Bill, if this prediction ends up being
I'll take
right.
the bells. I'll take the bells. Oh,
Hey,
good.
don't be putting bells out on my head.
Hey, you the one agreed with me on Clemson. You got to take the bell with me and the rest of the
I
community.
ain't taking the bell.
You take
the bell.
You take it.
Nah.
We're taking this bell together.
No.
So next game, we got Mississippi State versus LSU. In real life, Mississippi State actually beat LSU. So that's interesting. And LSU's kind of been in a tad bit of a slump, man. You know, even though they haven't lost too many games, only lost 3. But it's very underperforming performance, I would have to say, last week against UCLA. Even though they both had 2 good defenses. I'm going to say LSU does get this win, though. So who do you guys got?
I don't know what Xander wants me to do, because it seems like every time I cheer for them, they lose, and then he gets upset. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go LSU in this one. I think they'll beat Mississippi State.
Yeah, man. I think LSU's got this one in the bag.
And with a power playbook, which they'll definitely get, so there's no more outside runs, man, with freaking Xander Gold. I think they might be more effective.
Oh, Smitty, can I ask you a question real quick? Because this is the second time I've seen this, man. Are we changing playbooks for teams that are killing it? Like, we shouldn't change Georgia's playbook, should we?
No, we need to change them all because that's what's affecting the gameplay.
Oof.
Every book,
Sorry, guys.
every book has to be changed.
So Fecky, to respond to that, then yeah, the playbook may change, but what if it changes and you're not as good?
Yeah.
But you play better.
From what I've seen, though,
know.
every team from the playbooks that we have seen that we have switched did play better, or at least similar, the same from what they were before when they were successful on a terrible playbook. So I honestly feel like, especially with us reading the description.
Are we sure we want to change these, Smitty? Are we sure we want to change these?
We got to change them, man. We can't leave the playbooks on offense on any side, or it's going to make it.
No. I'm not saying for. I mean, like, I'm in favor of not changing a team like Georgia's.
But that could hurt Georgia. Everyone else's books changing; they're getting better. And if they've got a faulty playbook that they're running on, even though it's been successful, that's because they were playing against faulty teams.
I see what you're saying. So you're saying that the faultiness is why. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
And maybe that's why they only had 16 points this past week.
That's what I'm saying. And stuff like that happened. So those books need to be changed.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. I get it.
Next game, we already broke into the 4:00 games. Another 4:00 game, Minnesota versus Florida State. So Florida State been looking good, man. I really don't know who to go with this.
Minnesota's been more consistent, I think. So I'm gonna have to go Minnesota.
Minnesota. That's because you like the Vikings. But all right.
There's nothing to do with it, Smitty. All right.
What you got?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I used to want to cheer for Florida State, but yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say the Gophers. Go ahead, Mitch. I'll go ahead and jump with you and Bill in this one.
Yeah, gotta wait for it. Go Gophers.
I guess I'll just go with
Go Gophers.
I guess I'll just go with I'll go with Florida State, man, just because they have the home field advantage and they haven't been doing too bad. So I'm gonna just go with that. Minnesota did just lose, but it wasn't that bad. I don't really know. This is a tough one. So I'm gonna still go with Florida State.
Darius, that's uncalled for. All right. Now I hope you don't get a touchdown.
By
Bill.
Hey,
Bill,
truth hurts.
That's passive aggressiveness right there.
Hey,
Bill.
whoa, I can't control it.
That's fighting words. That's fighting words right there.
Yeah,
no.
you started it. I can't. I gotta finish it.
Yikes.
All right, so we got Washington State versus UCLA. I got UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA. I think Matthew Holman's awesome, man. I think UCLA is gonna do it.
I'm not gonna do that, man. Yeah, let me go ahead. Let me go ahead.
Do
and pick, UCLA, man.
You know you want to pick Hartfield. Just do it. Mitchie is waiting for you to pick Hartfield.
It'll be real. It'll be a lot of bells if Hartfield come in here and beat these boys down. UCLA. Y'all already know Holman's gonna get off. He's gonna get his 100 yards. I don't know, boys. I don't know about this little passing game here at UCLA, man. It hasn't been consistent all season long. What's been consistent, though, is even though Washington State's been losing, them boys been in some games here. And, man, look, Q-Pac Machiavelli, man, that boy been balling, man. That's all I'm going to say there. Yeah, I'm going to jump on the other side.
Yeah.
I'm going to be all about the bells this week, man. Washington State gets it done at UCLA. Isaiah King, DM me in the Discord. I got warm bottles if you're mad at that one.
All right, so we got Auburn and Oregon. I got Auburn.
Boy, you sort of said both there. Which one do you got?
I said Auburn and Oregon. I said I got Auburn.
Oh, it sounded like you said Oraburn. I was like, well, you can't choose both, bud.
Oraburn.
Pick one or the other.
Oraburn. Sounds like I'm gonna go herpes medicine. Oraburn.
You said some what medicine?
Oh, my bad. Can I say that on mic?
You can't say that.
Oh, my bad, guys.
Hey, yo, RFP the mix.
That one out. Sorry, guys.
What's going on?
All right, guys. Go ahead and censor that one, man. I didn't mean it.
I guess it's educational for the kids, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you're right. Yikes.
All right, so I guess everyone. Did you guys give your votes on who you got?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my bad. I think I just rock bottomed the podcast by accident. My bad, dog.
Now I guess we're gonna get our monetization on limited.
I mean, forgetting we live, man. I got these thinking we in the chat just chilling with our boys, man. I'm sorry, guys. It's not on the commissioner. It's on Rob. He can easily fire me. Man,
Oh.
yikes.
That was wild.
Oh.
All right, so we're just going to skip the rest of that game,
Auburn.
even if you guys didn't.
Auburn.
All right, so we're going to go with, okay, next is Florida and Ole Miss.
Florida.
Florida, yeah, Florida.
Florida, okay. It looks like we're going to burn
Yeah.
through these.
Yo, burn through these.
Okay, so we got,
Yikes.
we got
Yo.
Purpose.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
so,
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, man.
all right, so
Smitty did it on purpose.
Yo, burn these.
that was completely unintentional.
Yeah, right.
Baylor and Texas. That's a good one. I'll be calling that, and if Rob, you are able to call that game on Saturday,
Yeah.
I'll be doing
Yeah,
commentary.
I'll try to clear my schedule, man. It's all good. You know how this work, man. They be throwing me.
Just let me
silly
know. You know, that's
situations,
how
but-
we'll work over it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a conference game right there. Big 12 game, really good game. Who you guys got? Baylor or Texas?
I'm gonna go with. Ooh, this is tough. This is tough because I want to say Baylor, but like I don't know, man. I just haven't been as impressed with them as lately as I should be.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go Texas. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
It's
I'm
got
gonna
beat
play-
down by West Virginia. I just hope you
No,
guys
man.
remember that though.
Hey,
Don't you guys remember that?
just let me run with it, okay? If let me die on this. I made my bed. I'm gonna lie in it.
All right.
Oh, man. I like that maniac out there in Baylor. Do they get it done here? They can't lose 2 weeks in a row, right? Baylor can't lose 2 weeks in a row. Not
I'm gonna
Baylor.
say I don't think they will. I think Baylor's gonna get the win.
Yeah. I was gonna go with. I'm gonna just say I think Baylor's gonna get it done here at Texas, man.
All right, and second to last game on Sunday, which will be at 8 p.m. Eastern, Penn State versus Ohio State. Definitely have to make this a primetime game due to the fact that, those matchups, they got history in real life. Good to see that. Who do you guys got?
I don't know.
That's a
Wait,
tough one.
what's the game, Smitty?
Penn State, Ohio State.
Oh, PSU, man. PSU. Come on, man.
I have a feel. My heart is telling me to pick Ohio State, man. But I'm gonna have to go with Penn State here. I already picked Texas. I can't make two crazy decisions this week. I'm gonna go Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great win this past week for Ohio State over Michigan State, but I got Penn State winning this one. And the final game of the week, you guys already know what it was. You guys knew this was going to be game of the week. Georgia versus Miami.
Oh boy.
Oh man,
Oh,
what a
man.
game!
My stomach just settled. What in the world?
Oh man, this is gonna be a game.
Wish
It
I had a
better be.
graphic.
Boy,
then.
oh boy. Georgia and Miami.
Oh, that's
All
tough.
for all the marbles. Hey man, look, Miami. I'm gonna tell y'all, man, y'all can't come in here playing around with these guys, man. It's good that Miami is at home. I think that's a good thing they're at home. Boy, oh boy, you got Amir Williams and Cam Perkins on the same field. Are you kidding me or
Yeah, that's
what,
gotta be
man?
crazy.
You got the best defense in Georgia, and you got Miami, the alleged best defense. Alleged. I gotta say that allegedly. The best defense here. Hey, all I'm gonna say is it's some studs in this game. This has got to be game of the year. Gotta be game of the year. Man, I don't even want to pick anybody, Smitty.
I'm
What?
almost
How
at
can I
that
pick
point.
I'm gonna
somebody?
do it. I'm gonna do it.
Who you
Who
picking,
you
Bill?
picking, Bill?
I'm gonna take Miami.
Oh!
I'm gonna take Miami. You guys better not let me down.
Hey.
Go at Miami.
Miami?
I'm taking Miami.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm going with Georgia. You want to know why I'm going with Georgia? Because it comes down to the quarterback. Kai Cash,
Ooh.
DJ White matchup. We talk about the running backs. We know the running backs, but then you also forget about the firepower that Georgia has at receiver.
Yeah.
Miami's got some firepower as well, but they're
You
not
think,
as
you think
versatile.
You think Brock about to come in here and work CP and Lito?
He's worked everybody, so I think that there's a possibility that he may work them.
Get
Now,
spicy.
and this is another thing. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Y'all want me to be real? I'm gonna be real here
yeah,
with Miami, with their secondary. So,
Okay.
for one, I respect it that you guys think that you guys are the best defense. You definitely up there. I say top 3. But and I know you guys were definitely mad about being in a lot of zone and everything. But let's talk about this. The fact that you guys are supposed to be the best secondary, but yet when you play zone defense, give up the biggest plays pretty much out of any other team's defense, that goes to tell you that the coverage honestly isn't that good. Because that's the truth. It's the truth. Because I mean, honestly, how are you going to be top-notch defense now? As this is the key. As a secondary player, as a defensive back, you're actually supposed to be better in zone than you are in man. But they are worse in zone than they are in man. When they play man, they make the plays more likely, right? Yes, they do. But the issue is, let's not act like we haven't seen them get beat either. I've seen them get beat by a little bit lesser talent than Brock Melton. I honestly think that with these receivers, you got Tyler Simpson in the slot. It might get dangerous out there, man. It might not be nothing they can do with these dudes. And with Kai Cash, the accuracy of this kid, you know, I think they're actually going to be able to pass the ball a lot more than you guys think. Running the ball might be a little bit of an issue because we already seen that Cam Perkins is struggling running the ball. Their run defense is really good. But, you know, as much as this defense was prided off of being off of its secondary and, you know, its coverage skills, I mean, the strength isn't in the secondary for this defense. It's not. It's in the run game.
Boy, oh boy.
Man.
Smitty just cooked up.
You have to do him like
bacon,
that.
I mean,
sausage,
guys wanted to give a real
sausage,
opinion, wanted to give a real
fried
look
chicken.
back at the games. Now, I'm not saying
all in one
I'm
pot.
not saying that it's going to be a blowout. I'm not guaranteed. Look, I may agree that Georgia's going to win this. They could lose the game, and I wouldn't be shocked. But I'm saying that just looking at the film and looking at this defense, Miami, they got a good defense and everything, keeps them in games. But, you know, I remember when guys talking about the zone defense and everything. It was like, oh, we playing too much zone, which they were based off of how their defense was played. They should be playing more man. But, I mean, to look that bad in zone coverage with these top-tier guys, that says a lot about the coverage then. It's not as great as, you know, it's allegedly, like Mick said, supposed to be.
Hey, I got you guys back in the chat, man. I just put a link in there for some aloe vera on Amazon, man. Y'all might want to go over there and get some.
About the madness. He really put it out there, too. Aloe vera. I'm about to click on it.
No, but really, think about that, man. Like, that really shocked me. I was like, man, zone defense with the best secondary, and they can't stop guys on zone.
Smitty, I feel like you've been waiting to say that. Like you've been
I
like
have.
holding that.
You know, because I've been waiting. I have been waiting to say that because I've been giving them weeks, you know, trying to see like, okay, will the zone defense actually be good? You know, I know they're supposed to be playing more man, but like to look this bad in zone defense when you're a man-tailored team is, you would say just because it's not man, they're tailored towards man and they're not playing man that, oh, it's because they're not playing what they're supposed to, but they're actually supposed to be playing better because they're not playing man. You know, so I never got that argument for the case for their secondary. So they got to prove something because I honestly think that Georgia's going to have the ability to throw the ball over these guys. And that's sad. They do play better in man, but that's crazy how you can play better in man and in zone not be good at all as a defense.
Wow.
Good job, Smitty. You killed them all.
You know, I got to speak it out there, man. You know, everybody's going to get that smoke.
That's good.
Everybody's going to have to
break
get the
away
smoke.
from that commissioner stance sometimes and just lay it all out there. That's what the guys need. Little reality check never hurt nobody.
That's going to be a good game, man.
Yeah, definitely should make for a good game. And just even talking more, I mean, look at Georgia's defense, man. That defense is good in either. And they shut down the run. So, I mean, Amir Williams may take off. But DJ White in that situation with a defense like that, I think that Kai Cash is going to outplay him all day, and Georgia should win this game.
Wow.
Lito, I want at least 2 interception donations this week. You understand me?
Yeah, the secondary is definitely going to have to step up in this game, man, because it's going to be a rough game.
And as much as I'm taking a shot here as the secondary, it's just the defense in general is not good in zone coverage. You know, like we could talk about the cornerbacks not doing their job or safeties not doing their job in zone coverage, but it's also these linebackers too. Like it's the entire second and third level of this defense, honestly, is just terrible in zone coverage. You know, they're good in man, but to be that bad is just, it's mind-boggling.
So remember I mentioned the 3-3-5, Smitty,
Mhm.
for the playbooks when we go in there. Are you gonna adjust that?
So that we what we can do is like for more defensive known teams, we are going to adjust those playbooks.
Because they definitely should be in
Not
that
every
Cincy,
teams because we
Cincinnati.
yeah because some other
Yeah.
teams we really don't know what to. You know what I mean? But those teams that we know that they should be playing in this, we will change those playbooks because
Yeah.
I'd say that the defenses for
We can't take zone out the game. You know, we can't do that.
we're definitely
you know what I
not
mean?
taking those zone out the game.
But the 3-3-5 will put them in more of the man situations,
and
it
there's-
also play to the ability of their defense.
Yeah,
as well.
and that's another thing. You know, we're talking about that with Miami's defense. We also got to make the adjustment to Georgia's. You know, because
Yeah,
now,
yeah, I gotta
like,
make
if they're
the
going to be
adjustment
like that, you know, their
Yeah.
defense needs to be souped up. They got two OP cornerbacks on the outside as well, in
Yeah.
Jamar Scruggs and David Kiesel. So
Yeah.
we got to make sure that they're out there jamming it up on the outside. And, you know, like I said, you look at the offensive matchup, it comes down to me, in my opinion, the passing game. Like, you got pretty much Brock Melton and you got Blaylock and Tyler Simpson for Georgia going up against Lito and those guys. And they're good guys, but like I said, they struggle in zone. But Georgia, those guys shut it down in either. And they take out the two receivers that that Miami has on the outside, Deshaun Jones and I'm blanking on other receivers' names here. Andre Rose, you know, guys like that. But I would, if it comes down to receivers, I'm taking, you know, Brock Melton and that receiving core over Miami's.
Yo, we
Yo,
got
what
some,
the flex bombs? I can't even talk out this Smitty, man. He just
we
unloaded
got
on y'all
in the
boys.
chat right now. We got Miami and Georgia going at each other in the chat. They're getting all psyched for the game.
He said, hey yo, Jermaine Taylor, you ain't no Warren Sapp. Chill, son.
Hey, and this is another thing, like to prove a point. You
boy.
know, Chris Dunn, Coach Dunn is a statistic guy. He puts here in the chat, Miami's defense is allowing 309 yards passing per game. That's the fourth worst in the RFL College Series right now.
Well, fine, Chris. Just come in here with all your logical stats and stuff. Make my decision seem like it's a stupid one.
Yeah.
You talking about Chris Paul or Chris Williams?
Chris Dunn.
Oh, Chris he said Miami
Yeah.
defense allowing 309 yards passing per game. That's worse than it. Yeah.
Yeah, and,
Where were you
I would
before I
say
picked
most
Miami?
of those yards came off the zone coverage, like I said. There's no reason in zone coverage you should be giving up that many yards. You are more likely to give up yards in zone than man, but like for the plays to be as wide open as we've seen every time Miami gets in zone, that speaks kind of some volumes on coverage there.
Jermaine Taylor says the film don't lie. The film don't lie, man.
Yeah, so this grade really just
What Justice say, man?
Justice said
Justin.
that's crazy, Smitty. Really just called y'all some frauds.
Stop the madness.
He's bugging.
That's it. You
Stop
know
the
what? I'm not
madness.
laughing no more. Lito, Chris,
What?
Peter, DJ, whoever else, everybody, y'all better win this week. All right.
Y'all better win this week, and y'all
my.
better have some
You
good
better-
zone
you know,
defense.
I want to drop
or it's
the
over.
biggest bell on Smitty next week. The biggest of the bells. Like, yeah, the biggest
Oh,
bell.
Yeah,
Wow.
drop. I mean, look, I don't care if I get the bell.
No,
you
you
better
gotta care.
get. No,
You're
I'm
not
not gonna
trying to
care
back out of a
because
bell
they
today.
bet.
Yeah,
No, look, I'm not backing out of the bell. I deserve the bell if you guys get it done. But I'm saying, like, that's how much you guys got to prove. I don't even care if I get it. I want you to get me the bell. Get me the bell next
wants
week.
the
But I
bell?
don't think
We
I'm gonna
need
get the
more
bell.
cowbell.
I just don't think I'm gonna get the
Yeah.
bell, man.
Smitty, I'm gonna let Smitty go ahead and keep the analysis this week. I really love his analysis. He made a lot of good points, man. But I believe over loyalty over everything, man. I'm going Miami, man. The Miami boys know I rock with them heavy, and I
All
want
right,
to,
man,
I hope they get it done this week, man. Because I just like I mean, I love Georgia too. You guys are some great guys and everything, man. But y'all know I've been going with Miami all season long, and I'd be fraud to not jump on not jump on it with the team here, man. So I'm gonna say Miami gets it done at home this week in a tough game, man.
So
That's
for,
what I'm going.
it just seems like, I'm gonna have to be dropping this bell on the whole community. I don't think the whole community.
No,
I honestly feel like most people in the chat knows that Georgia's pretty much
Yeah,
probably
I
gonna
get it.
win this. But
I get it. I get
Miami boys definitely gonna stay with Miami as they should. But I'm
This
just
is
pointing out the facts, man.
this is just classic, like, a discussion where you're talking about the Patriots in their prime. You know what I mean? And you really want a team to beat them, and a team is good, but can they really beat them? You know what I'm saying? I get it. Can Miami really beat Georgia? And I'm not gonna lie, guys. Even I'm kind of questioning it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna still rock with Miami here, man. And that's still no shade to Jermaine and Kai and Cam out there. Y'all know I rock with y'all heavy, man. But yeah, I feel that Miami will get it done. And so I'm going there. If I get Bills next week, I just get Bills. I'll be the Bill boy.
This is another point that I'm gonna put. I'm gonna put throw shade again on another person who needs to step up here for Miami, and this is facts. DJ White, you hear how we talking, man?
Oh my God!
You gotta if you do not ball in this game, you guys are going to lose.
Ring the bell, ring the bell, Smitty.
I'm ringing the bell. I'm gonna go ahead and ring the bell.
Go, please.
But
chill.
Nah,
Smitty,
because it's got to be said.
Down right now. This is terrible.
What happened? We opened Pandora's box, and now Smitty's just like everybody's gonna get.
It's nothing bad. It's just the way that they play.
You turning the Hurricanes to a light storm right now, bro. Chill, bro. Chill, bro.
Gotta turn
the Kings, man. You can't talk
it's all
about
the pressure. It's all about amping up everything. You know what I mean? This has been a team that's been very confident, as they should been. They've been winning some games, but look, 3-3 on the season. Bad at zone defense. DJ White has not been able to be good enough as a quarterback other than last week, and mainly he still only performed because of his running ability. You think he's going to be able to do all that against Georgia's defense? He's going to have to show that he's a better quarterback this week, because if he's not playing as a quarterback this week, he's going to get fried. And that's what it comes down to. The only way that Miami has an opportunity to win this game against Georgia is if DJ White steps up. That's it. And, of course, the secondary don't play as bad as they do usually on zone. If they can play tough in those two aspects of the games, those are the key to the games, then they can pull an upset off on Georgia. But that's just, in my opinion, against Georgia, that's just too much. I don't think they'll get it done.
Man, my boy Lito just came back from running about 100 suicides, lifting everything in the gym, and you just put a bag of potatoes in his hands right now, man. This is just crazy, man. Like, that's a lot of pressure right there. You putting on these guys, man. But hey, I like it, man. I like it. Spicy. We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Now that's gonna amp up the game. Like, you guys better show up to that game and pay attention to these points that I brought up. Because if they don't show up, I'm letting them have it. I'm gonna speak about it the entire game. And I'm not holding no punches. It's getting out there for everybody. But all right, so I think we got to go over the new top 100 list. See, Beasley just sent me. Okay, he sent me one whole picture here this time. That's awesome. So
I'm glad no one's turned around. Salute.
yeah.
I'm just messing, Beasley. I know you good.
Okay,
we're gonna be talking about this list, Rob, and all of a sudden Smith's like, and one other thing, I got somebody else I got a bag on real quick.
No, but usually, like, I'm not gonna point out anybody unless it's like something that really needs to be said. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like
I know.
I needed to point that out for this game. Yeah. Gotta put some pressure on Miami for this game.
But look, yo, Smitty, that's what makes the podcast diverse, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's what needs to happen. So I mean, I'm doing what I know I need to do.
Of course, man.
I'm not worried about it.
Drop them bills sometimes, you know.
Yeah, you gotta drop the bills, you know.
But I mean, who else should I? You know, what I mean, I think I have always been doing that. It just hasn't been a case like this yet until now. Because I mean, who else would I've been talking about that I'm talking about belling? It hasn't been anybody. You know, I was going to do that regardless of whoever comes up. Miami happened to be the ones, so got that smoke, and you're gonna have to prove me wrong.
He got that smoke. Oh, okay.
You know what other thing though? Miami, like, hold on, somebody just said it too. Anthony Fry, like you had read my mind. Just give Amir the ball like every play.
That ain't gonna win you the game.
I do feel this though. I feel that if Amir Williams can bust out some 80-yarders, then the momentum's gonna go to Miami.
If Amir Williams shows out against Georgia, you know what I'm saying, against that defense, and still ripping 80-yarders, then he's hands down the best back.
Oh, he's got to be.
He's got to be. Yeah, if you show Amir that, there goes another person I'm calling out. Amir, we already know you the GOAT right now. Currently, the running back GOAT right now in this series. If you show out like you did last week or have been this season against Georgia's defense, then you just know you getting drafted. That's all I'm going to say.
Your GOAT card's about to get pulled, okay? You be using that line way too much.
What, the GOAT?
GOAT. Yeah. You can't just be flailing around out here like the L word, man. You got to mean it when you say it.
What you talking about?
You know what, Smitty, though, man? You do have a good point here because, like, What if the running games do not exist against both of these defenses, and then it's just quarterback versus quarterback?
It's over. Georgia all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, even if the running games are prevalent, it still comes down to the passing game because we already know we got two great running backs.
Now, what if the running game is taken away, the passing game is taken away, and then you just got the quarterbacks in the spread? Who wins that? Kai Cash or DJ White? So you think Kai Cash is the better scrambler than DJ White?
I mean, I don't know what type of argument that is to put up on who's going to win the game if, like, scrambling more than not loses you a game due to fumble possibilities. I'd rather have a quarterback that's sitting there in the pocket delivering passes than running all the time and possibly fumbling.
But you don't think that most quarterbacks who've been running in this series have had the upper hand on teams?
On some plays, but no, I think it's been more so a disadvantage for teams with scrambling quarterbacks because we've seen and you can look at the statistics right now on the RFL College Series quarterbacks, even in the RFL, every scrambler they can't take care of the ball. That's just what comes with it, and that costs you games. It may win you sometimes, but usually when you're playing up against a tough defense and you want to go ahead and be that type of quarterback, you're losing the important games. So I'm take that quarterback over a scrambler any day.
Well, Kai Cash has 9 attempts for 56 yards, and Amir Williams has 77 attempts DJ White has 26 attempts for 261 yards, man. So that should be very interesting in that game.
And how many times has he fumbled?
Let's look at the fumbles here. DJ White has 2 fumbles, and
that's not that
Kai
bad.
Cash has two fumbles.
That's honestly not that bad for scrambling. But
that's
DJ White,
you expected.
I thought it was going to be higher than that, to be honest. But
DJ White's averaging he's averaging 10 yards on the ground when he rushes.
Well, that's cool. He's at least it shows he's taking care of the ball. But just as much as we're talking about how much of a threat he's been running the ball out as a quarterback, look at how many games he's honestly lost his team from not being able to perform as a quarterback. You get what I'm saying? Like, how many times has he made the big passes and big plays through the air to help his team win? That's what it comes down to. But let's go ahead.
DJ White beat with the accuracy, the completions as well, completion percentage.
And how many times has he thrown compared to? You're talking about Cash. Okay, no, I thought you were saying DJ White is more accurate than Cash.
Oh no, Kai Cash is more accurate, and he's thrown more balls.
Yeah. I'm about to say that should definitely.
He has way more yards.
Yeah. And most of the time, DJ White's not throwing a ball unless it's short or it's guaranteed there wide open, and that's leads to him scrambling.
Get this, though. I didn't even notice this, but dang, DJ White, oh, man, you only got 4 passing touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And Kai Cash has 13 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
That's the difference.
That's a big oof.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and get a look at this new top 10 that was introduced, top 110 guys that were introduced from 70 to 61. I'm going to say it's got some controversy about this list right here for me. Starting off, we got Adrian Otis, the defensive tackle. They got him here as the Conquistadors. I thought that he was with the Diablos. I think he just now is on the Diablos now. I'm not exactly. No, he's
we had him on. No, he was Diablos in the article. I'm like 95% sure.
Okay, yeah. So I'm blanking on, but I know who he is.
But
I'm
Mexico City.
I know he's in Mexico
close.
City, regardless. But he might not be with the. He was with the Conquistadors though, but I think he got traded over to the other Mexico team. But that's him at 70. At 69, Contavious Henderson, wide receiver of the Cougars. 68. Safety for the Gunners, Devontae Gibson. 67, Carter Delahart for the Voyagers. 66, offensive lineman's getting love here. Breon Keith of the Desperados. My boy Nolan Angelo of the Dreads getting up there. 65, Maurice Starman at 64 as wide receiver for the Armadillos. We got one of Bill's guys. He might not be facing his back, but he's not even looking at.
Oh, you got me.
I
noticed that. How you gonna put the man winded up there on a joint? I'm tired, guys.
You look tired.
What are you looking at?
He's probably looking at his ranking like, yo, for real? 63?
I'm all the way down here.
63? Okay.
But yeah, Beasley on that one, man.
Yeah. Jason Henderson at 63. I gave him the bell.
Give the bell.
The Celtic Tigers getting on the list with 2 guys here, 62 and 61, with Malik Yates at D tackle and Riley Holmberg at 61. So, before I give off my opinions, I want to know what you guys think about this list.
And before I give off my opinions, I'm gonna let Rob rock with it because I know he's got some things he wants to say.
Man, I gotta say a disclaimer.
It's all
Noah,
before you do all shouts out to Noah, man.
yeah,
Nothing
Noah,
to-
shout out to you, Noah. You are a great guy. This
GOAT.
task you had is very, very difficult. Not many people would even just want to do this, man. So I got to commend you and hats off for your curiosity and dedication to getting this done, man. Well, I'm seeing my boy Kentavious down here, man. And I'm first of all, I'm gonna say I gotta see the rest of the list, and I don't want to see it all at once right now. I want to see it over the season. But Kentavious Henderson, man. First of all, he had 85 receptions this year, 1,200 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Roll Tide. He's also from Bama. He also did this despite the Cougars having 3 solid halfbacks running all over the place this year. He split targets with London Lions, who had 77 receptions and 800 yards, and Taywon Bryson was in the slot, who had 82 receptions and 930 yards. Okay, now look, excluding tight ends, right? Excluding tight ends, Kentavious Henderson was the 4th best wide receiver in the ARC. All right, behind feature wide receivers like Nayani for the Celtic Tigers and Stanley Whitehead for the Bulldogs, and also Keith Guyton for the Huskies. All right, the only other 2 wide receivers who compare on the NRC is going to be Romeo Jackson from the Steamers and Acosta from the Marshalls, okay? Now, stat-wise, he is the 9th best wide receiver in the ARC and the NRC combined, my guy, okay? Keith Guyton, who most will say is the best wide receiver in the league, and Smitty has said that more than one time.
He's not.
He just had 1 less catch than Keith Guyton. He had 100 yards less than Keith Guyton and just 2 touchdowns less than Keith Guyton this year, okay? And so now I'm just a little bit curious and scratching my head right now where Guyton is in this situation. Because if Guyton is the best wide receiver in the league, and you have Kentavious Henderson, who's just performing just as well as Keith Guyton is, and actually we can argue that he performed better in games where they played head-to-head this season, then why is he all the way down here at 69? Okay, so the only other thing I got to say here is only Whitehead, Nayani, Romeo Jackson, and Keith Guyton had more yards receiving than Kentavious Henderson this season here. Okay, now for all you guys who are new here and don't understand this, okay, we're literally talking 2 to 8 catches between the difference between Kentavious Henderson and the best, I guess, wide receiver with hands this season, which is going to be that guy Acosta, who had 101 total receptions, right? So we're not really talking about, a big difference, a big gap here as far as wide receiver play goes. This is not including tight ends. So I'm just a little bit confused and scratching my head right now, man. You know what I'm saying? With Kentavious Henderson being down here, and I'm still kind of questioning some of these other guys. Like I'm looking at what Reed Holmberg did this season, all-around player. And so I really want to see who is up top here, man. But that's just my spiel on that. Hats off to you though, and that's how I feel.
So what you're saying though, Rob, is you don't agree with it.
No, I definitely don't agree with it. I do not agree that he's the 69th. I like looking at what, and then I'm just looking at what Kentavious Henderson meant this year, you know what I'm saying, and what he was able to do, despite the fact that the Cougars, and I'm not just saying this because I'm the coach, it's facts. The Cougars pretty much excelled at the pass and the run evenly, while most of their players hung around the top 5, and at least within the top 10 in all categories with other players on teams that are allegedly or supposed to be way better than the Cougars, man. So I'm not gonna front, man. I saw Kentavious Henderson all the way down here at 69, man. He's out here with offensive guards and stuff like that, but I just got a little worried. But that's how I'm gonna be quiet right there and let you go, Bill. I'm done.
All right. Well, first off, Beasel's out here now. He's talking about Pelican Bay because we told him he got RIP'd. So I want Smitty, can you give him another bell for me, please? Just because there it is. Knock it off, Beasel. Dang it already. Anyway, I mean, I love my guy Jason Henderson, man. I do. But I think there's a couple guys on this list that he should probably be behind. I'd put him behind Darman. I'd put him behind Angelo. I don't know who Keith is because I don't really know offensive lineman that much.
He's a good lineman, though. He's a good lineman.
Well, we're gonna keep him behind Henderson, okay, Smitty? Is that okay? We're gonna keep him there. Anyway,
I would put just to combat that argument. I mean, Carter Delahart should definitely be up there too. He shouldn't even be.
Yes, I was the next person. I was just saying Delahart. I would put ahead of him. Gibson.
He's about all right, but he probably should be higher.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad spot. I mean, I can see him being in this general range, but I can see that there's some players on this list that he probably, and definitely Henderson. I think Henderson should be. I don't think Henderson should have been shown somewhere. Yet. Yeah, he shouldn't have been shown yet. That's my opinion.
Yeah. So, with my opinion here, Adrian Otis, I guess that wasn't bad. A great start to the list there. Contavious Henry we already gave our spill on that. Definitely should not have been this low. Should have probably been higher. Should have been higher. Definitely in the top 30s. He does compare to a lot of the top receivers in the RFL, and he's a very young receiver, so he's only going to get better, and he's going to probably be the best receiver at some point in the RFL as the years go on. But just a little bit of a case against just the statistical thing. I know guys look at stats and stuff and talk about how they compare to the best guys. You got to look at what the team did, and that's a good reason on why. Just like Rob said, his argument with them running the ball and being just as successful passing the ball, it was good. I would still have Maurice Darman. This is another guy I don't feel like should be on this list this low because even though I know he had less yards than Contavious Henderson, he should be ahead of Contavious Henderson because of the what this dude was able to do with the way the team ran and the quarterback that he had thrown him the ball. You threw this guy up the ball, he was coming down with it, and the guy's only 5'8". You know what I'm saying? This dude's a monster. He should definitely be up higher. And I know he's been quiet a little bit the season before, but he's always been that top target for the Armadillos. He should be higher. Nolan Angelo, I feel, should be higher. He was like the centerpiece for the Dreadnoughts defense. And he was making a lot of their big plays along there with Antonio Kellum, but I think he was even making more bigger plays than Kellum. So he should have moved up. Breon Keith, we don't really show too much love to the linemen, so, I mean, I guess that's a good spot for him. Carter Delahart, dude. This is like another guy just like Angelo, the anchor and the star of this defense. If I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head, he won Defensive Rookie of the Year and has never looked back since. Been a beast linebacker. He should definitely be higher than this. Reed Holmberg, this is a guy who should be in the top 20 somewhere.
Oh my!
I mean, this guy was just.
I couldn't believe that, man.
Everywhere.
I gotta see who's in the top 60.
Yeah, Reed Holmberg is definitely one of the best defenders in the RFL at linebacker, and to see him at 61 was definitely shocking. Another one, Malik Yates,
Pro Bowl.
Beast, a freaking beast tight end, and he's got freakishly this freakish size to him. He's like 6'7", 300 and something pounds, and he's just been a beast, like nimble, getting sacks. He's a monster up front for the Celtic Tigers. So I would have to say for majority of this list, probably should have had better rank because I'm cool with the Adrian Otis and the Breon Keith, but I think everyone else should have probably been higher, in my opinion. Even possibly Devontae Gibson. He was a great safety, but and if there's anyone who should have been lower, I would have to say Jason Henderson. This is a guy who should have probably been in like the 80s, maybe 70s range. I mean, this is a rookie, just came in. He had a pretty good season, but I wouldn't have put him that high, especially over Maurice Darman and these guys he's over. I probably wouldn't have done that. But I mean, that's my opinion. Once again, I know Noah's not taking this serious, taking this seriously. So,
don't Noah. We're just
he doesn't take it serious. So that's a good thing, of course. And when you look at this, man, he's doing something that we just never had the time to do that the community wanted. So I mean, that's a big shout out to Noah. He had to do this on his own, so we already knew things were going to be completely, not in the best order. Even though he has been a long time RFL community member and fan, he knows a lot about these guys as well. But
I think he likes linebackers too. He is a linebacker, isn't he? He's a linebacker.
Is he a linebacker? I don't know if he played.
Yeah, Javon Payne, isn't that Javon Payne?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's a
okay.
linebacker. No wonder.
Let me find out Javon Payne's on his list somewhere up
Yeah.
higher. That's crazy.
If
Javon Payne, number one.
Javon Payne is on this list, if he's on this list, I'm gonna die, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. That's why I said our process next year for this. We're definitely including you, though, Noah, for the fact that you put put in on this.
Work,
but we're definitely going to have this now, where it's going to be the coaches are going to vote. Of course, the higher staff of the RFL is going to vote, and we're going to throw you in there as well because you did a great job of coming up and giving your reasons on why you felt that these players deserve to be where they are. So once again, shout out to Noah Underhill for that.
So what you're saying is you would move all of these players pretty much up the rankings except Jason Henderson.
Yeah, Jason Henderson should not be at 63.
You know
man.
what? Give yourself the bell right now.
I'm not giving a bell for that.
Drop the bell, Smitty.
I'm not giving a bell. You honestly think
for the bell to
Jason
drop.
Henderson
Guys,
should be in
can
the
I please
60s?
can I please get warm bottles of milk in the chat for Bill right now, man? Please.
He's bugging.
Bell, Smitty.
He's bugging, right? Like he had a
Wow.
good season, but you really gonna put the rookie here
on,
up
Bill.
over
Come
these
on,
guys
Bill.
in the 60s? He should have been somewhere in the 80s, in 80s and 70s somewhere, man. That
You better
definitely
drop
not
the
the
bell.
60s. I'm not dropping the
man.
bell because you're the one bugging. You're the one that need the bottle.
You're lucky
got
I don't have
Jason
you're lucky I
Henderson.
don't have a bell sound around me. I'd do it.
Man.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we had to cover, man. So now I guess we leave it up to open questions. We don't have really too much time. We are over the 2-hour mark, so I guess we could take some open questions depending on what people got. Anybody got any questions?
Yeah, why didn't you drop the bell?
Because it should have been on you. That's
You need to respect my bell requests.
Bill, the bottles are coming through, Bill. Slowly.
All right. I see how that is. All right.
Oh,
that one.
man.
Martinez, I ain't cheering for Utah no more.
Oh boy, more bottles.
Yeah, throw some more out there, man. He needs that Enfamil.
Oh,
All right, that's it. Now I'm picking Georgia.
Infamil, Infamil, I'm weak.
Connor
Crazy.
Baker, I don't know what I did to you, but why you give me a bottle?
Oh, bugging, man. Well, it seems like we don't got
I
any
love this
questions,
show,
man.
I'm mad it took me so long to get up here with y'all, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
was, dude. How
Y'all
long was I
boys.
trying to get this guy into this podcast?
Pretty much the
for?
entire RFL season. He never
Yeah.
opted.
I know. Boy, wait till the RFL comes up.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my
That's
God!
gonna be it.
The RFL is like 2.5 months away, guys.
that comes up.
There we
bro.
go, Chris.
That's when the
Podcast.
real debate's going to be out, man.
Oh yeah.
Going to hear all of us
Smitty's
going
on the
at it.
losing end of those debates so far. Maybe he'll be able to win one this year.
I know it, man.
I won a lot this year.
No, you
man.
didn't.
Yeah.
Hey, look at Lito. Lito just came back. Yeah. Reason why we gave up passes in zone, lack of pass rush. He just
He's
had
been
to
sitting on there. He's
But,
been trying to
I
think
mean,
of a good comeback for like
I'm
40
I'm gonna
minutes.
be honest in terms of yeah, I know, right? But in terms of the pass rush, that actually makes your case kind of even more worse because if your secondary is doing that bad in the zone defense, and I've seen some quick passes go off without the pass rush. Okay, you can say it's a pass rush, but I was just blaming your front seven. I mean your second and third level defense. Now you're saying it's even the D line. So your entire defense is probably the issue when it comes to zone defense. So that's even worse.
Bro, Weasel said he gonna put us in Pelican Bay for giving him the rest in peace.
Yeah,
Y'all
Yeah,
gonna be
Lito,
fine
Lito
taking
put the
it
phone
back.
down and everything, right? He put the whole phone down, didn't watch the stream. He walked
he
away.
said
and he's
that
like,
would be bad.
"Ooh,
And
I
man,
should have
I
said
mean,
this."
but Lito, you can't. I mean, I get you defending your team, but you can't sit here and say that the only reason you guys' zone defense has been bad is because of no pass rush. Because I've seen a lot of quarterbacks that y'all played against dot your defense up with after just the drop back. It hasn't just been them sitting there in the pocket all day throwing. They've just been finding guys. And then you look at the zone defense, it's like wide open zones that you guys have. It's not even contested. It's like wide open. So it's like, even if that was the case, where's the,
But look,
tightness of it?
we are going to adjust the Miami defense though to fit a better defense that will not just keep them into zone, because I do understand that they are the defense they're in currently, bro, is putting them in like 80% zone scheme, and that's just absolutely nuts. You know what I'm saying?
But look, and I agree with that. But that's why I'm saying that the zone defense is horrible, though, because I mean, you're being in that the most of the time. You're supposed to have the best cover corners, pretty much a secondary, and you guys can't cover anything in zone, which should be way easier than man.
Yeah, but even when we do adjust it, Smitty, and this is to you too, Lito. Like we are gonna adjust it, but even when we do, y'all still are gonna be susceptible to zone plays.
Yeah, you definitely gonna still be playing zone.
Yeah. So it won't be 80% of the time, which has just been destroying y'all, man. But
All right, though. So it looks like that's been it, man. I think we just readjusted, man. He out here wild.
Oh, that's crazy. Wow, I saw that.
But yeah, that's gonna be it for us, man. Over 2 hours long. This podcast, always, as always, it's been a great one. We're gonna have to close it out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for week 8, man. 2/3 of the way through the season, man. RFL season's gonna be here. National championship game's gonna be here. All that's gonna be here before you know it. But until then, it's your boy Smitty, RFL commissioner, play-by-play commentator, along with Bill and Rob. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.
Can't believe you didn't drop the bell on yourself, Smitty.
Why would I do that?
Because I called for it.
You
Rob calls for the bell.
I would have pressed it.
Do it.
I would have pressed it if it made sense. But
No.
you literally tried to tell me to put a bell on myself for Jason Henderson being ranked 63rd.
63rd,
You're
bro.
bugging. Matter of fact,
Where's the bottle?
we should still be live. I'm gonna bail you right now.
You're not gonna bell me. You can't bell me every time you want to, and then deny my bells.
If you look, man, if you had a legitimate bell, I would have gave it to you. But literally, the fact that you tried to say that Jason Henderson should be higher than 63, you're bugging.
Here comes the more milk for you, Bill.
Yeah, more milk. They heard that.
After hours.
They heard that.
Got Google, baby. Got Google.
This ain't right.
All right, we out of here, guys. Hopefully, Bill, doesn't wild out next week.
I'm gonna wild out next week.